Is there any noticeable difference between this? And is there any noticeable difference between this?
Say Peter Piper picked up pickled peppers.
All right, this is without. Peter Piper picked up pickled pepper, and this is with. Peter Piper picked up peppered pickle.
Yeah, the second one is way better.
Fuck!
Oh no. Fix it, dude!
I'm trying, man. It's like this, it's so jank, like it just doesn't like want to hang out. Alright, I'm good.
You sure about that?
No, but we'll...
Do you have one of the ones that you like, does it go over the mic like a sleeve, or is it like a circle thing?
Circle thing. Like
Why don't you just, why don't, instead of attaching it to the microphone, you attach it to yourself, okay? Have it in front of your mouth.
Put it on like a fucking, like the Bluetooth earpieces.
Yep.
Just have it out in front of your face.
Get one of those, or get a fucking nail, get a hammer.
Alright, we're good. We're good for real, for real. No, we're good, we're good.
String.
I'm good. I'm good,
The man said he's good, dude.
Yeah, mine's just booing out, honestly.
Yeah, it's just that it's not long enough is the problem. It doesn't want to like hang up. You feel me?
Is it not one of the ones that just like attaches to your boom arm?
It is, but like it's so like awkward and it's like way it places itself. I'm gonna try one more thing.
You guys ready?
Yes, sir.
Undead?
Yep.
Nazi?
Yeah.
Hey party people, welcome back to the Split Party Podcast. This is gonna be episode 11A of the podcast. And before we get into it, you know, we're going to do our recap and all that stuff. But before we get to that, I just want to say, if you've been listening this far, thank you. Thank you a lot. This is our 11th episode of the A-side, like I just said, which means that we've put out 10 episodes for each side, which is, you know, double digits. That's a big number for us. So that's pretty cool. If you like what you hear, you're welcome to follow us or subscribe to us on our social medias, Twitter and Instagram, as well as subscribe to us on YouTube, if that's where you listen to us. And if you've liked what you've listened to this far, or if this is your first episode that you're hearing and you realize at the end of this that you liked what you heard, it would go a long way if you would consider giving us a thumbs up or a review. It would really kind of help out with the algorithm. And it would mean a lot to us to just have feedback either way, like even if it's bad, honestly. Just any feedback is feedback, and feedback is always good. If you want to hang out with us, like the members of the podcast, and kind of ask us questions or get to know us or just hang out with the community and talk to other people that are interested in the podcast, then consider joining our Discord. All of the links to everything that I just mentioned should be in a link tree in the description of this podcast, which, I mean, should be somewhere depending on where you're listening to us. Jimmy hooks all that up, so it's all there.
Yeah, good luck.
And I think that is it. I was really hoping that by now we would have our new art made and finished. Some of you guys have probably seen snippets, sketches of that on our Instagram or our Twitter or our Discord, any of them. And we're excited for that to be finished, but taking a little bit longer than expected. Anyways, let's get into the recap. And then after that, I'm going to just go over something very brief for my players to kind of get an idea of exactly where we left off. Because during Dark Reign, which is the time period that we're in right now, I switched up the recaps. I changed them from being actual recaps of what's been going on to just kind of like little lore snippets. And that's kind of the theme. So without further ado, Gracos, 301st Dark Reign. I'd advise against measuring circumstances by face value. Water witches sing the sweetest songs, and the viper's kiss hides behind soft lips. What he made for us was not a gift, but a curse. I only wish to find a way to rid myself of it, for I'm a beacon of light in a sea of darkness. The monsters can pick me out amongst a crowd as dense as wool as the sign glows. The nightmares do not rest, and the scars do not heal. I know he feels differently about the oath sign. It was his creation, after all. Why wouldn't he be proud of the work? The arrogant lizard. From a charred and burned diary, read by a stranger in a ruined hovel. So where we left off and where we resume, Rylon is in possession of Typhon's trinket, the first Seraph of Imperius that was turned into the Lenchtag, and the Lenchtag's head was destroyed in the previous session. The party also, while that was going on, simultaneously obtained food and blankets for all the refugees, as well as a rod of adamantium for Eamon. After which, something invisible was speaking to Ilfharyn, and Rylon offered to Isaac the opportunity to send a message to his son, Reuben, who is on the other side of the whole continent, pretty much. Or not pretty much, is, kind of. And when we finished the last episode, there was banging on the door, and everyone kind of took up positions, as it seemed like there was going to be an attack. And the banging persisted and continued. Very large, sort of rhythmic, slow thuds against the front doors of the cathedral. And as the door was bashed in, the blockade was moved just enough for creatures of medium size or smaller to get in. Stazriel and Lodin flew up next to the broken windows, so they're kind of on both sides where the windows are broken up high in the cathedral. And they're tasked with defeating anything that kind of dives through the windows and attacks them. And so they're going to be tied up doing that for pretty much most of the fight. And you guys, I wrote down some notes for each of you. Eamon, before the session ended, claimed that he couldn't fight how he normally does because Lodin is in the cathedral, and Lodin, as we know, is a seraph of Solima. Eamon also is fearful of the place becoming a holy ground. That was kind of the vibe that Eamon had ending the last session. For Rylon is holding an action currently, going into the session to cast a spell if anything enters the front doors of the cathedral. And Rylon is also concerned about the basement doors being close to the main doors, and that's why you guys are so close to the main doors. And then Ilfharyn is aware that the Lunar Kidna, who have been speaking to him, hate elves for some reason. And he was watching the windows with his hand on his rapier. The three of you were back to back to back in a trio about 20 feet from the doors. And between your position and the front doors, there was a spectral Reuben cast there by Rylon, and on each side of him, shoulder to shoulder, are Isaac and Troy. His, if it was the real Reuben, that would be his brother and his father. So the whole kind of Olsen male side of the family is there, just ready to fight whatever's coming through, and that is where we are going to be resuming. So we're pretty much getting right into the thick of it. I do want to roll up our initiatives for our listeners. You will be seeing images of this potentially on our social medias, but most definitely on our Discord. So if you want to see what the battle maps that we use look like, we run all of our fights in Tailspire. We are big fans of Tailspire and have been supporters of it since it was on Kickstarter. And we like to use it for our battle maps, so we make sure to post images in our Discord since we don't actually record what we're doing as a video. But go ahead and join there to check them out.
The gang's all here.
The gang is all here. And you guys can roll your initiatives now. It's in the combat tracker.
Rolled a 13.
Has he got a 20? Undead?
I forgot you have to roll manually. I'm used to having the other sheet. 11.
You don't have to roll manually. Click on the
Oh, my
fifth.
thing's there. That's right. You can just change it to 11 because I rolled.
Yeah, maybe I will.
Thanks, buddy. I was just giving you permission, you know. DMs need permission from their players for things.
Yeah, that's true. As we get into this one, and the door busts open just enough for these smaller creatures to kind of get through, do you guys, is there anything that really kind of strikes you as something that you would want to do as this door, like, flies open? You see on the other, or not, you can't really see them because it's just open enough for these things to skitter through. So a lot of the stuff that's on the other side is still in the GM layer, and I will bring it out as it would make its way through the doors. We'll start with Rylon, go to Ilfharyn, and then Eamon. Is there anything that you three would be doing, like, as that door inches open? I'd say it's like 3 feet of a gap, so it's still kind of closed, and you can't see, like, all the way through it, but, like, it's open enough sideways that something could, like, weasel its way in.
Well, I had a spell prepared, so I guess I will, as soon as that door starts creaking open, I'm gonna cast the spell.
Okay.
So I will be casting Spirit Guardians at 3rd level.
Is that... Oh, yeah, you've done this before. They're not both concentration, right?
Nope. Guardian of Faith is not concentration.
That's sick.
So if they weren't all out already, which I'm pretty sure they were, my wings are out now, regardless. So I will draw this... where's the ruler here? Centered on me. I think it's 15 feet. Yep, okay. Boom. So there we go. Now we have a visual of what my Spirit Guardians looks like for right now. And I kind of am just I guess I'll just look towards the door, and that will be my premeditative action.
Okay. And what about Ilfharyn? Anything from him? Your last standing there looking up at the windows with your hand on your rapier.
Okay. I'll probably just activate Bladestone now, bonus action,
Okay.
and that'll be it.
All right. And Eamon?
I wish I had things that could help here, but I will just kind of glance nervously back at the Soloma lad and take out my chain and scythe. So I'd roll the chain in one hand and the scythe in the other and kind of swing it a few times as if it's been a while.
Yeah, it really has.
You know. And I'd grab it and take a defensive stance, just glancing around. I'm going to use dodge or defense or whatever to increase my defense.
Okay, that's sick. If you want to see what these things look like, very, very strung out muscle, open wounds, huge underbite, jagged teeth kind of coming out from... They sort of resemble orcs, except much more monstrous and almost undead looking with like milky eyes and just pus and gore all over them. And they're clearly very feral beasts or monstrosities. Who knows what the hell they are. But a few of them start to just climb practically over each other as they make their way in through the front gate. I'm gonna kind of do their turn, and then we'll get right into the actual turn order and go back into Nezi, Rylon, Undead, and then go back up from there. So they start filing in, like just running in on all fours into the room, and they have quite a bit of movement speed.
Look at those little fuckers.
Right? Little small tokens.
Are they? So they are like mixed size too, like stat wise.
Who knows?
Okay.
And so they all run in, and two of them go to attack Troy, and two of them go to attack Isaac.
All right. Well, as soon as at least these first two come into range, they're gonna get swiped out. They have to make dex saving throws.
You said the first two.
The one at least in front of the spectral Reuben.
Okay, a 21.
Okay. He takes 10 radiant damage.
10. Got it. As Spectral Reuben is like the first to kind of like swipe in the fight and just lashes out with his greatsword. And then the second one comes in with a 22.
Another 10 radiant for him.
Okay. And so it's like two slashes, and they're so nimble, they like hop up and around and duck under the blades and stuff like that, and they're just barely grazed by this sort of spectral radiant sword that this spectral Reuben is carrying. And his I just imagine it like the furs that are on it, the like fur kind of wolf cloak that you last saw him with. It's just kind of like fluttering a little bit, like there's wind going through it, but there's not actually any wind coming through. And we go on to their turns as they begin to attack. It's gonna be a lot of attacks here.
Yikes. Hello?
To the audience, the die is rolling many times.
It's probably
10
rolled at least
times.
10 times, 11.
That's 11. Yeah.
13,
Okay.
Oh, 13.
13 times.
14,
14 times.
Holy
15.
Christ.
3 multi attacks.
Whew.
Okay,
Good luck,
so
Isaac.
miss a hit. So I'm just averaging out their damage to the NPCs here. Okay.
Troy
If they,
is dead.
what is the AC of the Spectral Reuben?
It is incorporeal to an attack, so it does not take any damage.
Oh, so they just like phase right through. They're slashing and attacking this Reuben, and Reuben's just like not even looking at them right now, almost.
Pretty much.
They're just kind of like phasing right through him. And then last 3 are against Isaac, so that's 2 hits. And you see them both kind of like leap on Troy and Isaac, sort of out of nowhere, just smashing, attacking it like over and over and over and over. So now it is Rylon's turn as they just rush in like a flood of these little sort of creepy little creatures.
You said they what?
As they just sort of like flood in through the door, these creepy little creatures, and begin the attack. It is now your turn.
My turn. Just taking a glance around, do I see any other creatures making their way from the rooftops around, anything like that?
Like, are you trying to look outside the door?
Not at the door, but like there's a huge window above the door, right?
There are a couple windows there.
Okay.
Yes.
Do I, taking a glance up there, do I see anything crawling their way in through the windows?
No.
Okay. I am shooting through the Spectral Guardian. I'm just going to just shoot a firebolt at... hopefully it doesn't get rid of my bubble here. I'm going to shoot at the one to the... I'm assuming Isaac's on the right of the Spectral Guardian? One?
If you hold down tab, you'll see names. On your perspective, Isaac is the one on the left and Troy's the one on the right.
So the one to the creature to the right of Isaac, I'm going to shoot a firebolt through the Spectral Guardian at him.
Okay.
So shoot an attack. 22.
22 hits.
All right, he takes 2d10 fire damage, 11 fire damage,
Dang. Okay.
and that's my turn.
And you see it like blast a hole through this little guy, like in his midsection, and his guts are kind of pouring out, but he's still in the fight. He's a little bit feral, a little bit crazed, not getting up right now. And that was your turn.
Mm-hmm.
Undead.
Yeah, so the whirling of the blade would stop. They'd hold it in one hand and turn around, facing the four a little bit more. And he's going to raise his hand and mutter a few incantations, and I'm going to cast Shatter in an area that's not, like, right behind them, in an area that's not going to hit our boys, but will hit these little shits.
Okay.
You probably get all of them, right?
Yeah.
What's the shatter range?
Each creature in a 10-foot radius sphere centered on a point has to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. And you said it was a what save?
Constitution save, sir.
Oh, yeah. A 4, a 6, a 4, a 16,
16 saves.
and a 13.
13 does not save, so one
Okay.
save.
Okay.
So, I get to roll. So the ones who failed take 11 thunder damage, and the one who succeeds gets half that damage.
Okay.
Okay. And all this stuff around it, if there's any like pews or anything, would be affected by it too, so you take that as your will, by 11 thunder damage.
Okay. I'd say that the pews crack, but do not shatter.
Okay, and then I'm going to move up to here, and I'm going to spend a key point to use my bonus action to dodge,
This
as
is
I
our
take
first
that defensive stance.
This is our first opportunity for you guys to see the knockdown status. They like lift up and plop over on their back. It's kind of cute. But one of them is just like as a like thunder ripples through the air. You hear like crunching of bones, and his legs give out, and he just like collapses onto the ground. And that was your turn, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, Nezzy.
Oh, that's cute. It's like upside down.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I don't see it on my screen.
You don't see it?
No.
It's funny. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna blow yet. I'm not gonna blow it yet. Alright, I got 40 feet of movement, so I'm pretty sure I can reach these guys. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Moving to about there.
Mm-hmm.
Just off the side of Troy.
Yep.
We'll go for first attack on this one in front of me, closest to me.
Yep. It's like a battle line now.
Okay, I'm guessing that does not hit. That's a 10.
10 does not.
Alright, we'll go for another one, and this one is at advantage, and I will be using Green Flame Blade on this as well.
Okay.
19.
19 does hit.
Okay, so that is 6 damage.
Okay.
Plus, this is going to be 1d8 to that one that I attacked, and then 1d8 to 1d8 plus spellcasting modifier. So that's 3 to the one that's next to it.
Okay. Roll those up.
Okay, so 5 additional to the one closest to me, and 9 to the one next to it. Yep. And that is I don't know.
All these
that's
little
5
guys
damage.
are looking pretty messed up so far. They're all like actually really beaten up. All of them are bloodied. Like the flame, as you stab into the one, like the flame burns out from the point of impact where you pierce into him, and then leaps from the blade over to the next one, and they're like screeching and screaming, and they're so small. Like all the noises that they make are just like roars and screams that are super high pitched because they're so tiny. They're like about a foot and a half tall at most, if they were like standing up on their hind legs. But that's your turn, or?
Yes, I believe so. Actually, no, that is my turn. Yeah.
What do you think else is going to come through that door?
We'll see.
Some sort of gift, you know?
A gift?
Yeah, like some good guys. They're just gonna come in and then give us some food, some shelter, some water. It's gonna be nice.
I think this is Tormach's revenge. I think he's pissed. Because I cleansed his demons and his church.
Let's not cleanse it too much. All right, a little bit.
You're thinking of Malik here, brother.
Who did I say?
You said Tormach.
Oh,
True.
Yeah, true.
So 4 of these 5 things are dead, and it goes on to their turn. Is it at the end of their turn that they would take a damage from the spectral Reuben?
No. The only time it attacks is if a creature moves within its range. So if they're standing there, it's not going to attack.
Okay, that's sweet. Oh boy. Okay. You guys see as this little one that is in front of you, in front of the spectral Reuben, the last one that's alive out of the 5, turns to the nearest one in front or next to it that is dead and begins to feast on it.
Oh, Lord.
And it's like it has a one-track mind where everything else around it disappears, and it sees food and it needs to eat, and it cannot help it, cannot stop itself. And so the one next to it is eaten, and oh shit.
Ah, fuck.
This one spends its whole turn doing that, but you can hear its bones and muscles stretching and squelching and breaking and bending as it grows larger, and its wounds begin to heal, and blood is like dripping down its jagged underbite. And let's see, that is all right. And then following that, now that all the smaller ones have made their way in come 3 more rushing in that are about the same size as this one that is already in here.
All right, boys, we're running the gauntlet on this one. Let's go.
So they begin to run in, kind of like knocking into each other, knocking into the door. The door opens up a little bit more, and you hear a smash from outside. Close the doors now. They're all in. And you hear a smash from outside. And that's they're actually going to action dash. So,
all right, well, dex saves.
Yep, dex saves.
I think. Hold on, I gotta see what the range is on the Guardian of Faith. Doesn't really say it has a range, but like, oh no, within 10 feet of the Guardian. Yep. Okay. So
I'd say measure that out. Then, yeah.
I can't without removing my current one.
This is 10 feet right here. So it covers all 3 of the large ones that are directly. I'd say it reaches all of them.
All right, dex saves all around.
And is it for every one of them? Like, it doesn't have like a cap?
It says any creature hostile to you that moves in space within 10 feet of the Guardian for the first time on its turn must succeed a dex save.
Works for me. All right, a 24, a 19,
okay, passes,
a 6 nat 1.
Okay, so
and a 12.
Oh wait, what?
And a 12.
There's 3 or 4 of them.
4 of them. Oh wait, no, the other one is already in.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah, the small one's good.
So a 24, a 19, and a 6.
Okay, so the ones that pass, the ones with the 20s, take 10 radiant damage, and the one that failed takes 20. So hold on, I gotta do math real quick. That's 60. Okay, my spectral guardian Reuben vanishes.
Oh, okay. And there's kind of a glance, like an immediate knee-jerk glance from like Troy and Isaac. You can't really see the expressions on their faces with, Troy wearing his kettle helmet and Isaac wearing his helmet. It's probably like a aw damn kind of look, of course. But so you said 20 to the one that fails?
Failed. Yep.
Okay. So that's
and 10 to the other ones.
Dang. Okay. Got it. And all of them have spent their actions and used their whole turns to do what they did, and so it goes on to the turn of Rylon.
Okay. I am going to fly. Let's see. Each square is what? It's like
Tile is 5.
5 feet. It's
5
less than
feet.
5 feet.
Yep.
5. Okay. Then I will fly 20 feet in the air. Or no, sorry, 10 feet in the air. My fault.
Okay. Done.
Okay. And I'm going to move 10 feet closer, so floating above Eamon, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So let me redo my thing here, as it is centered on. I'll just do it on Eamon here because
I think you can do it on yourself up there. Yeah.
But okay, so boom. So you know what? I'm going to move. How much was that? 10 feet up, 10 feet across. So I have 10 more feet of movement. I'll just move 5 more feet so that we'll get closer in there. So
Gotcha.
Let me just redo this again. Oh, fuck. God damn it.
It would be nice if you could like make things permanent.
Tell me about it. Okay, so now I'm looking down at these creatures. So I am going to you gotta delete that spectral Reuben, by the way.
It is gone.
Oh, for me, for some reason I'm like things aren't showing up.
You might need to restart your Tailspire, or maybe make sure it's updated. We can take a minute for you to leave and come back if you need to.
Okay, give me a moment. I see the creatures that you brought in, but like the things that you changed, like flipping them over or bringing, removing things, are not there. Just oddly.
And did you not see the one that went from size small to size medium?
No.
Did see that.
Okay.
Yeah, it did say it's updated. Let me just rejoin in.
For me, I see all this stuff.
The Tailspire is updated, so maybe there's some latency issues.
Could be. As we know, you are riddled with those.
True. But I haven't lagged yet, have I?
Nope.
Alright, so that's really all I care about.
Okay.
Okay. And I will I'm going to shoot down, you know what? Nah, fuck it. I will recast Guardian of Faith in the same spot. Another Spectral Reuben will appear
Oh shit, okay. Let me pop that up.
in the same spot. Yep.
Okay, done.
Alright.
What level spell is that?
That is a 4th level spell. But
Damn.
luckily I have 2 of those, so
Yeah.
I cast it twice. And that is my turn.
Okay. Undead. You see as these things are getting beaten down, one of them eats another one. And before you, a spot opens up where Spectral Reuben vanishes, and then you feel a gust of wind from above you as Rylon flies overhead and casts the Reuben again in the same spot, leaving you not really a place to get in on the front side of things unless you hop over the pew or go around.
I have reach. I have reach. With that, I know in the past we've been able to make rolls, like skill rolls, to try to determine some things.
Uh-huh.
Usually give it choices on there. Is there choices for these ones, or kind of just roll anything?
What are you trying to figure out?
Well, I'm trying to see if these things have any. Obviously, they heal, right? When they get eaten. I'm seeing if there's anything else that I noticed about them. I'm trying to observe them and see if there's anything specifically I can notice as to their actions.
I think.
Yeah.
I think roll an Arcana. These are a kind of creature that roams all across Etheris. There might be something that you know or remember about them, or heard or read.
I ain't too smart, so don't you worry about that. We'll see. That's a 10. It's 11 minus 1.
Okay. As a child, you remember seeing a storybook about these sort of creatures, whether it was like meant to be a child's tale, or whether it was something that was probably a little bit, mature for your age.
I
of
snuck into
reading.
Dad's library.
Yeah. And in it were depicted these things, and you kind of put 2 and 2 together when you see the smaller ones, because you're like, oh, I recognize seeing those, and then you recognize seeing kind of like these medium ones, and then it dawns on you that there was a third that was even larger than these.
It'd be the big boom outside. Glancing outside, I still can't see this thing, right?
Correct.
Through the
You
door?
see the doors like smashing, like bashing it, and every time it does, you hear like the screech of the pedestal, or not the pedestals, the pews that are kind of have been used to blockade the front doors. It's getting more and more as the door opens up a little bit each time.
This thing's gonna eat all of these things. Okay. Well, with that, to the left on this side over here, right? Is he on this square? Like, what's up? Can I move here? Is there room to?
Yeah,
jump
you can
up
move
here?
there, definitely.
Okay, so I jump up on like a pew or something to the left of these guys, if there's something there,
Mhm.
and I'm going to lash out at them with my chain scythe.
Okay.
I'm aiming for the ones that look the least hurt.
Okay, the least hurt. Got it.
Yeah.
That would be probably the one directly in front of Spectral Ruben. It's the one that is least hurt.
Okay. I'm going to lash out at him once. So I'm just doing an overhead swing. It's going to be a 23 to hit.
23 hits.
Eamon de la Bascon.
Ammo. Hit them with your blade. 5 slashing damage. This thing is not silvered or enchanted. Be clear.
Okay.
And then I'm going to lash out at him again since I don't think I'm doing too much. So he swings around my shoulder and I lash out, untangle it, and go again. 13 to hit.
13 to hit does hit.
Okay.
Sick.
8 slashing damage.
8 slashing. Got it.
And then I pull the chain back and I prepare for the big guy. I look back towards the door.
And the pew that you're standing on kind of skids a little bit, like a couple inches, and you almost lose your balance. You have to like keep it for a moment. I wouldn't say you almost lose your balance.
Yeah.
Eamon's pretty dexterous, so like you kind of glide along with it, but it's definitely noticeable. And as you lash out against these two strikes against this this creature, you see that it doesn't seem to shrug off these attacks. Like it's got a one-track mind, it wants food, but these attacks took full effect.
Okay, that's pretty good. Good. Yeah, but that is my turn. I'm just looking at that door, like here it comes.
All right, Nezzy, at the top of the round, you hear screeching from down the hall towards the altar, and you see like a couple bodies of these things plop down onto the red rug, like parts that had not been cut up by you guys. As Stazriel and Loden are just like catching these things, diving at them through the air, and just Stazriel has his like spear crackling with lightning, and Loden has a lengthy longsword that's shining with the bright sort of silver or white goldish kind of glow, and they're both like slashing haphazardly at these smaller ones that are climbing up and jumping at them.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to be handling themselves pretty okay for now.
That's happening like behind us.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, a good ways behind you, like 150 feet behind you, or something like that.
Right. Okay, gotcha. Okay, I'll focus on these ones right now.
Okay.
Now, this is going to be kind of weird to do in Tailspire because they don't have a cube, which is a bit of a shame, but So, what I'm going to be casting is Web. Okay.
Okay.
There's some stuff in the Web spell that kind of needs to be negotiated here. So it needs to be anchored. Okay.
Okay.
Now, it's a 20-foot cube. Okay. Now, if I was to draw that with this, with what I have, a sphere. Okay.
You could use the cut box, which is N.
Yeah, but can't I only see that?
If you're trying to use the cube, you can use the.
I mean, you can just sort of square off the corners of that, more or less.
Okay.
Right.
Sorry, what size cube is it?
It is 20 feet.
20 feet.
Yeah,
So,
which actually I think is half of that, right? Because that would be
Be a 10-foot radius.
So no, it would be 2. Oh, okay, yeah.
That kind of.
Yeah, it's gonna be more or less something like that, right? So, what it's anchoring to is these pews. Right?
Okay.
So it's a very low web.
Uh-huh.
But I also, if you imagined getting that square and kind of turning it a little bit, I want to anchor it to Spectral Ruben as well right now.
You can't.
Because he's he's fucking ethereal, right? Okay, well then it's just going to be on the pews. Okay, so it's a very low laying web.
Do you want me to scoot it over a little bit so that it's actually on the other pew?
Nah, it's fine. I mean, we can imagine it.
Okay.
It's whatever. So it's definitely not extending the full 20 feet upwards. You're probably only looking at like 5 feet of clearance or something like that.
Yeah, it's kind of polygonal is what you're saying.
Yes. Yeah. Because it can't attach to any walls. The only thing it can attach to is the pews. So,
Got you.
You know.
Okay.
However, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just. What's next then?
Okay, well, hopefully that still works, and if it does work, that is my action. And
I would say that works.
Okay, well then
the fuse is fair.
The 4 of those are going to have to make dexterity saving throws. DC is 14.
4 of them.
I mean, the 4 that are, all 3. I don't know.
I'd say it reaches the 3.
Okay, all 3.
Like you said, dex saves.
Yep, dex saves. Yep.
Oh man, that's really their strong suit. 22. 12. 11.
All right. Well, 2 fail.
Okay.
And those two are now restrained. They can use their action to do a strength check to attempt to escape it. And if any fire damage inflicts any part of this web, it will burn in a 5-foot cube. And it will do damage. With that being said, I have my bonus action. So with my bonus action, I will be using Serpent Tongue.
Classic.
Of course.
That's really an Ilfharyn special now. It's like the third or fourth combat he's used fucking Serpent Tongue.
Ilfharyn Serpent Tongue.
I swear it's an underrated spell. I think it's a good spell, right? But 1d8 on a bonus, I think that's pretty good.
That is kind of cool.
Yeah. So I'm gonna move up a little bit just to get in 5-foot range of the one that's closest to me. That's just come in, the fresh one, and go for an attack. And that is a 16.
That's 16 hits.
Okay, that does 4 damage flat. And is this thing immune to poison?
Ooh, let me double check that. It is.
Okay, then no save necessary.
I apologize.
This serpent tongue thing's never coming in use.
You guys will one day fight something that isn't.
We need to kill some humans. Let's go find some
maybe
people.
that's a little bit too common in stat blocks, the whole being immune to poison. But I guess it is kind of like a monstrosity beast, kind of undead sort of trend.
Yeah, I mean, if it's undead, it's gonna be...
Like, if you guys were fighting Rylon's not immune to poison.
Yeah.
You want to kill him.
Imagine joining an undead kin and you only use poison. That's sick.
That is sick. You said that's your turn?
That is my turn. Yep. I'm gonna hold here.
Isaac and Troy both start to attack the one that is directly in front of Ruben. Or Spectral Ruben, I should say.
Father, son, Kamehameha wave. Let him know.
All hit for a total of 32. A total of 32.
Damn.
Yeah, we're averaging NPCs right now. And that one is very bloodied right now. It's like a death's door. The one that is directly in front of Spectral Ruben, as Isaac and Troy are just like coming at it from both sides, just slashing it and beating it down.
They all did their attacks, right? The NPCs?
Isaac and Troy did, yes.
Okay.
Why are you waiting for the...
I was going to shout something out, but now that they've attacked, I'll wait until my turn.
Okay. And then it goes on to the turn of these little creatures.
Okay. Those 3 creatures in the bubble have to make wisdom saves.
Oh.
As the Spectral Guardian, or not Spectral Guardian, the
Spirit Guardians.
Spirit Guardian, sorry. Too many Guardians.
I got you.
I'm Guardianed up right now. So yeah, the wisdom saves all around between those 3. The 4th one, I think even though his head is in the bubble, we'll say that he's not in it because he's not in the ring itself thing here. So
yeah, I think some cool little sort of background right now. Something to maintain in the back of your mind is that even though this fight's going on, you can still hear, like, Nov Ostoya is a huge city, and you can still hear other conflicts and other fighting going on in the distance, like the crack of black powder rifles here and there, screeches and roars of monsters, humans screaming like women and children and men, the distant smashing of wood as houses are like crashed into by whatever is attacking it. And you hear a bell toll in the distance, like really faint as well. But you said wisdom saving throws for all 3 of them?
Yep.
Okay, a 1.
Okay.
A 10.
All right.
And a -1.
All right, they all fail, so they take 3d8 radiant damage.
Oh.
12 radiant damage to all 3 of them Johns.
Uh-oh.
And their movement speed is now halved, if that means anything.
So 12 radiant, okay.
That's a pretty good roll.
Yeah, you just wait for it, man. We're gonna have some mega boys on us in a second.
Nezzy, that web, does that stay there, or is that gone?
It's concentration, so yeah, it stays there.
So if anyone were to run in there, they'd have to make a dex save.
Essentially, yeah.
Nice.
I hope their dex gets worse as they get bigger.
You would hope so, yeah.
Okay, so they took the damage as can you describe for the listeners again what your little spectral or spirit guardians look like as they're just flying around you in like this swarm?
Okay. My spiritual guardians spirit guardians are almost like, we'll say like, it's a little smaller than like your average halfling size. So they're not like armored men to the T, but they're like dozens of these flying angeled spectrals, like same kind of kind of silvery tealish energy that emits from the spectral Rubin. But they are all wearing this kind of gunmetal armor and they're all bald and faceless. You would think that it resembles a sort of like a Gabriel, but the face is faceless, so it's just bald creatures with armor on, and they all have kind of swords and pikes and spears and stuff like that, and they're all just kind of like almost like little like humanoid gnats that are just like flying in and just taking pop shots where they can.
I love that you describe everything, or that you flavor everything as the party members from before the split that you know.
They're my only friends.
Yeah. And so as we come past that, and these guys have just been battered, it goes into their turn. And
which ones of these are restrained, by the way?
yes, and this one that is in front of the spectral Rubin is dead, as it's like you see a gash of light open up across its neck as one of the spirit guardians comes by, and then like sort of pouring from its neck a thick sort of blackish dark brown ooze, and these other two take similar smaller injuries. So those, okay, so they're restrained. What save did you say it was?
It is a strength check for restrained. For web, sorry.
Oh boy. Okay.
They're not that big yet. They ain't got the strength with them.
You know, crazy enough,
Plus 10.
they all kind of reach out, one track mind, like I've been kind of keeping the theme of, and they start to grab onto these smaller ones that are in front of them and start to just hound them down, like just like ripping their arms and legs off and just throwing them into their maw, like chewing a couple times and just gulping down. And you see sort of like a black purple mist or steam shimmer just above their skin as they contort and twist and writhe into these now going from medium-sized creatures to large.
Oh, that's pretty big.
Yeah. And so this one is you gotta get rid of the ones that they eat, and their wounds begin to heal as this happens. And so I need to start on a fresh piece of paper. I mean, you've gone from fighting 8 of them to fighting 3 of them now.
3 big ones.
Well,
Let's not forget the size. Right?
yeah, without it. I haven't even hit you guys yet. I've been fucking eating.
Yeah, it's because there's still food here.
So, new piece of paper. Yikes. And as it comes over to their turn, you hear the door thud again, and the pews smash completely out of the way. The door opens up to reveal another one that sort of can't get through.
Oh my lord, look at him. By Solimus silence, what is that?
I like that, by selling the silence. And so they make their way in. These 3 were too occupied eating, and so that's actually their turn. But this one makes its way in. Actually, probably, yeah, it's mindless, kind of. It just goes right into the web. Does it need to make a save on that?
I'm going to need the one that passed last time. I'm going to need that one to make a dex save, and the one that just entered it is going to make a dex save as well.
Okay, a 10 on the one that succeeded last time,
Okay.
and an 8 on the one that just entered.
Okay, they're both restrained.
So all 4 of them are now restrained. Okay, then, well, that's their turn because they're too busy eating. And so it's now Rylon's turn, and these things are just growing and scarfing down everything in their fucking way.
That's crazy. You're talking crazy. I reach into my fucking side pouches, and I pull them up. The guns are loaded. Aim at that guy at the door. I say, reach for the sky, and I fucking shoot 2 guiding bolts at him using sorcery points. I'll use 1 sorcery point since I'm going to cast it at first level as 2 guiding bolts come flying in. Where's she at? Guiding bolt. First attack.
That first one is advantage, by the way, because it's restrained.
Is that how restraint works? I don't think so.
Yep.
You sure?
Attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage.
I like that. I like that a lot. First attack, 25.
25
I wish I knew
hits.
that before I rolled it at first level. All right, so it takes 21 radiant damage.
Damn, good hit.
Second attack, still at advantage, right?
Yep, I mean, you just guiding bolted it, so...
Yeah, true. 11. Woof.
11 misses.
Hold on.
sadly. Oh,
We're not missing because I'm a fucking asshole. And I'm going to roll my favorite of the gods and add a 2d4 to this missed attack roll. 4, so 15.
That hits.
Yeah, damn right it does. 13 radiant damage.
So a total of 34 radiant damage.
That's right. And the next attack still has advantage, regardless, even of the web.
Okay, these two, like, you bring up your finger guns and just like spits out in arcs that come around from the sides and just bash into it like two little explosions of fireworks, and it takes the 2 hits. It's kind of focused on getting through this web right now, but as you hit it, it like brings up one of its arms. The other one is still like kind of wrapped up in the webs, and it kind of like shields itself as if it's expecting a 3rd hit that never comes. And as it brings its hand down, it locks eyes with you, and you can see its tongue like dangling out the side of its mouth, ready to eat, like drool dripping from it.
And that's my turn.
All right, undead.
All right.
There are now 4 of these large creatures in this room with you. You guys are all like in a battle line in front of it, and so are they in a battle line against you guys.
Looking at this thing in front of me, how's it looking? The one directly in front of me.
The one directly in front of you is looking untouched.
Perfect. I'm going to lash out at him with the hooked blade.
Okay.
Hooked blade. Fighting chain hook.
Okay.
Tag number 1, tag number 2, 25 and a 15.
25 and 15 both hit.
Okay. And then I'm just going to declare I'm going to spend a key point to make 2 unarmed attacks as my bonus action. So as I lash out with him twice, I pull my hook back, and then I jump forwards and try to smack him in the face a little bit with my fists.
Got it. Okay.
You can roll 2 more of those to see if you get a crit.
Oh, that's right. Advantage. I'm sorry. I'll just check. No crits,
Okay,
but
no crits.
I will roll these with advantage. 20 and 24 to hit.
Okay, so all of those strikes that you did hit, the 2 slashes and the 2 punches,
Okay.
all good rolls, just sadly no crit. It's a bummer.
It's okay. We take the advantage and we thank everyone who provided it. This is from the hook, so 14 slashing damage. And from the fists, yep, that's all correct. And that should be, there we go.
Your fists do more damage than your hook?
Monk fists do, yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I just never use it.
So there's one of them. See the other one?
Yes. To do the +1 because I forgot to update it for my dexterity bonus. Up same damages, so
Okay, so 20 more.
24 damage.
Sheesh. Okay, so you just hit it for like 30 something,
Like 4.
or 34, and it's not bloodied,
Good.
but you do leave a couple bruises that sort of look like when fruit is bruised, like a peach, where there's like a soft spot beneath the skin now, as if the muscle and flesh underneath it has been kind of tenderized into like a goop. And then the 2 slashes strike into it, like hook once, rip it out, hook once, rip it out, and it turns to face you.
I bet it does.
Oh, it does.
Yeah. And with that, I'm going to jump back and take an opportunity attack from it, I assume.
Okay.
I'm not going to use any bonus actions or key or anything.
Wait,
Has disadvantage.
it's restrained. Okay.
Oh, yeah. It would have disadvantage on this attack. I think it can still attack while restrained, unless it doesn't let it
6.
take. Oh, that does not hit.
Yeah, it can.
Okay, yeah, that does not hit. So I dip right back out. It makes eye contact with me, and I go, nope, and I run back behind the Spectral Guardian. And this is where I want my turn.
Okay.
Hiding behind a man you've never met before.
Yep.
Nezzy, as it comes to the top of the round, you continue to hear this thudding from the windows behind you guys, like 150 feet, as they plummet to the ground. And you hear like the crackling of lightning from Stezriel's spear. And then there's a shout. It's possible that you might glance over your shoulder, and you would see that one of the medium-sized one is like clung onto Stezriel, and quickly Loden turns around and slashes it off of him. But it appears like the medium ones might be coming through now. But you've only seen one so far, and it's your turn. Top of the round.
Does it look like they got that covered?
It looks like they got it covered still.
Okay. Alright, good.
And it's unlikely that the large ones would be able to fit through the gaps. So
True. Okay. We're gonna do the old rotation. Booming Blade first of all.
okay.
So we'll attack. Advantage 21. This is all towards the one closest to me. Oh, that's a hit.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
Advantage again, 17.
Also a hit.
Okay, I will roll that stuff. That's gonna be 11 plus 8
Okay.
piercing, and then it is going to be 1d8.
Is it a 2d8?
Nah, 2d8s if they move.
Oh no, but you hit them twice, right, with the Booming Blade?
No. I can only do it once. So 1d8 thunder, that's 5.
Okay.
And then we will attack with the serpentine.
All right.
Just for some additional damage. You know, I'm not looking for the
Yeah,
poison right now.
absolutely.
22 with 7 piercing.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think you guys are actually doing some pretty good damage. They're all kind of like at the same sort of health because you guys have all sort of matched each other's damage.
Oh yeah, spread it out. Spread it low.
That's pretty sweet. We love to see that. You like you pierce into him once and then like the booming blade. You said booming blade does trigger, or did?
I mean, it triggers on hit, but it triggers again if they move.
Okay. Yeah. So it kind of like explodes from the tip of the rapier, and you see like kind of like a pimple almost, just like an explosion of pus and gore comes out of the point of impact, leaving kind of like a hole there on the side of it, or like a little chunk missing from it, I should say. And that's your turn?
That is my turn. Yeah.
Okay. Isaac begins to attack, like scooting a little bit closer. Begins to attack the one that is was looking at Eamon, and Troy pushes a little bit closer to attack the one that is currently sort of engaged with Ilfharyn. I forgot to do advantage. Might be some double those. Okay, hit with a nat 20.
damn.
Don't kill it. No.
So Isaac does. Okay. And Troy. Okay. They both do a pretty fair amount of damage in the 20s, or well, 16 and 20 to their respective creatures that they're fighting. And all the while you've seen that Troy's, or not Troy, but Isaac's symbol is like glowing underneath his breastplate. Like you can see sort of the light coming out from underneath it, but not through it. Just to be clear, Rylon probably being the one that's
Wait,
most
Troy or
familiar with
Isaac?
it. Isaac.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not coming through it, but it is coming through the edges, where there are like spots between plates of armor on his half plate. And we come through their turn.
All right, wisdom saves.
Alrighty.
To whomever is alive in. Let me just draw a circle here again for you. They moved away, didn't they?
They kind of scooted a little bit in the whole growing process of size.
Okay, so then if they're scooted away, then unless they're in this barrier, which I can't tell.
I'd say 2 of them are.
Okay, so wisdom saves for those 2.
Okay. Spells are strong. A 17 and a 1.
Okay, 1 fails, 1 passes. I just want to verify all cases. Yep, okay, so 3d8 radiant damage. 9 to the one that fails, and
man.
much to the one that succeeds.
And half as much, you said?
Yep, if the one succeeds.
Okay. Okay. Damage dealt as they're just being barraged by these little creatures, or these little kind of flying no-faced Gabriels. Oh, and it's their turn. Yeah, because that was at the start of their turn. So they are going to make strength ability checks to try and get out of the web. And so an 18,
Passes.
a 15,
Passes.
a 14,
That meets, and so it passes.
and a 17.
Also passes.
Okay.
But that is their action.
Yeah, that's an
Worth it
inconvenience, but they'll make up for it, I'm sure. So
No
we come
feasting
over
this turn.
to Rylon's turn.
Okay, now I'm not
the one
letting
in the back
up.
moves closer, actually. Sorry.
Okay, not letting up. Two finger guns at that guy, but he's no longer restrained, so it's not at advantage. But technically, he's still guiding, so he's still advantaged on technically.
Uh huh.
So first attack at advantage. I'm using 1 sorcery point to double this up. Guiding bolt, first level, first attack, 22,
22 hits.
13 radiant damage.
13
Second
radiant.
attack.
Oh yeah, okay. That one shouldn't have been at advantage, but I think he would have hit anyway.
No. It was because I was the last one to hit it with a guiding bolt, which hit.
Oh, okay.
So
That
it's
you were
still
hitting
at-
that one. Okay. Sure.
Yeah. And then second attack still at advantage because the first guiding bolt, 13. I don't think hits.
13 does hit
Ooh, okay. 16 radiant damage.
for a total of 29.
That's my turn. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna move closer. Going to float now above. Can I grab my own? Let me grab my own guy here. 1, 2. We'll go right about here.
Okay.
And yep. And that is my turn. As let me just remake this. Boom. All right,
Okie dokie.
it's my turn.
I should warn you before you
Yep.
move, for your own sake.
Yep.
How far above the ground are you?
10 feet.
10 feet? They could... So they're like, 10 feet. They're like 10-foot cube spaces, large creatures are, in my mind. I mean, I get that they all have their own dimensions, but these things are pretty tall.
That's fine.
Pretty lanky, pretty big.
Yeah.
They could grab you on their turn if they could attack you on their turn. Instead.
Okay.
Alright. As long as you know that, then we go on to Undead, as you're flying like right above them, like wind sort of gusting up the dust that's accumulated there on the floor, or the stone ground. And Eamon, you are now once again behind the battle line. You see these 4 creatures right up in the front. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm gonna hop back up on my pew. I'm gonna get like further down at this time, still in range of this guy. I'm trying to make myself face the right direction, but whatever.
Roll down Alt.
Oh, that's right. It's been a minute. Thank you, sir. And the one in the back's looking the least damaged, right? The one that just came through the door, big boy.
The one that looks the least damaged is actually the one directly in front of Spectral, Ruben, and Troy.
Perfect. Well, actually, not perfect. So with the 10 feet cube thing, can I reach this thing from Eric? I have reach, right? I have 10 feet. But is this one in front of me too big for me to hit the other one?
I would think so, because that's 10 feet that this thing occupies, the one right in front of you.
Got it. Okay. But I think I should be able to hit this other one too, right? Behind this one, the one in the back. Is that about 10 feet away from me? I can't really see. I can move here if necessary.
I would say it would be necessary to move there.
Okay, I would do so. I'm trying to keep 10-foot range-ish, but I will move there, and then I'm going to lash out first at the one that was directly next to me.
Okay.
This is going to be with the hook.
For 20 hits, and 8 on slashing. Okay. Are you just attacking that one once? Okay.
Yeah, well, first,
20 hits.
for this, like, as long as he doesn't look too bloodied, I'll hit him again for this one. But if he looks really fucked up, I'm not going to hit him the second time.
Which one are
That's
you
what I-
attacking?
The one next to me. Oh, I'm sorry. The one directly in between us. Me
They're
and
all
mine.
kind of equally bloodied.
Okay. Then I'm going to attack him with both the hooks, just out of ease. I'm going to spin it twice and slash at him, and that'll
Okay.
be 8 damage plus 6 damage.
6 damage, okay.
And then I'm going to use a key, bonus action, attack twice, and I'm going to lash out at the other one in the back with my force damage as I kind of wrap the chain back up and then let out a big punch towards it.
First attack's at
Force to
advantage.
explode towards it. Excellent, thank you, sir. 21 to hit. And goes again with the other hand. I don't know why I clicked again, but... Oh, wait, I'm sorry, I rolled that with advantage. The first roll on that is an 18.
Okay. I'm sorry, which one was that? The one that's to your right?
This is the one in the back here. Sorry, I don't know what's to the right with this. It's the furthest one in the back.
Oh, I thought... Oh, so are all your attacks going to the same one?
First
No,
two
no,
ones,
first
there's
two were the
two on
ones-
one on the right.
Yes.
Oh, I got that
yeah.
mixed up then. Might be.
No problem. You can just do it the other way. It doesn't matter. It's the same outcome, I think.
Okay. Yeah, then if you're sort of switching it then and you're attacking the one on the right now, a 25 and an 18 do hit.
Okay.
Come on.
Yep. 9 and 5 force damage.
14. Okay.
And that is my turn. I'm gonna get beat up. I
Essentially.
can't keep using key all the way to this, you know?
Nezzy, your turn. The battle in the very back seems to be calming down a little bit. They've stopped coming through so quickly.
All right. In that case, I don't have to go misty stepping and sprinting over there. Okay. I'm going to go for the same thing. Once again, I'm going to continue conserving my spells because eventually something's going to arrive. We're going to boom blade the second one. Once again,
This is a fatal mistake.
like in previous sessions, if I crit the first one, then I'm going to cry.
And here it is.
Oh, good fail.
Thank
Good failed the first one.
Thank God. Okay. All right. Second one at advantage with the booming blade.
But he rebounds.
This is going to be a crit fail as well. Yeah. Okay. 25. All right.
25 hits.
I'm happy with that. All right. Okay. So we're looking at 11 damage plus booming blade. I'll just roll it. Plus 5. So 16 total, with 5 of that being thunder.
And they're all like neck and neck on health.
But don't forget the secret weapon.
Of course. Actually, almost did forget it.
Oh, I almost forgot too. I did forget.
Oh!
A nat 2026. Okay.
Okay.
On the Serpentine.
All right, that's 10.
That is a 10 because we do max out the first die and it automatically maxed. Okay, cool. So big hits from the Serpentine.
And at the beginning of these guys' turn, by the way, they're gonna have to make if you deem them to be still in the web, which I think some of these moved, and they're gonna have to make another.
They're definitely all still in the web.
Yeah, they're big
Gonna have to
boys.
make more dex saves because they're gonna move out.
Okay.
Let's go.
Web.
Come over
I'm webbed
to
up.
Isaac and Troy. Troy is going to attack the one that is closest to Ilfharyn, and Isaac is going to attack the one that's closest to Eamon.
You would receive a message in your head.
Eamon, I am in Nov Ostoya.
Sorry, I was doing those at advantage, but the hard way. So
I
that's
can't
a
wait
hit,
till we have to
a
kill her.
miss.
Wait, I don't think these ones are at advantage anymore because they're all.
Oh,
out
you're
of,
right. Sorry. So I'll use the first four. So that's a hit, a miss, and a miss. So Troy lands his 2 for. Ooh, that one's very bloody. The one that's closest to Ilfharyn is very bloodied as so this hit strikes out, and then the viper or the serpent tongue lashes out and snaps onto it and holds there for a moment before releasing, and then just immediately following it, Troy just bashes it twice on the shoulder with his flail. Spikes digging in, leaving long gashes and huge broken bones on its shoulder. But Isaac sadly misses his 2 strikes on the one that is closest to Eamon. And it comes over to the turn of these creatures.
Wisdom saves all around.
Yeah, and dex saves. Give me those.
Give me those.
Give me those.
Let's start with the wisdom saves because they might die. So a 14,
Fails.
a 17,
Passes.
a 7,
Fails.
and a -1.
All right, 3 fail, 1 succeeds. They take 3d8 radiant damage, 8 radiant damage, half as much on the one that fails.
Okay, 8. Oh boy. Okie dokie. The one that is closest to Ilfharyn dies as it like you see it's got like a mental anguish. Its eyes sort of twitch for a moment, and it kind of snaps out of its trance for just a brief second when a flurry of these little spectral Gabriels smash into this thing, like colliding with pikes and spears and swords and cavalry hammers, everything, and it just like swats at them a couple times before grabbing onto its head and just limply just collapsing down on the ground. The other ones, 2 of them looking very beat up, one of them looking pretty good shape, and it comes into their turn and they need to make some dex saves.
They do.
Fail.
A 22,
Yikes.
That's definitely a pass.
an 11,
That's a fail.
a 6 nat 1,
That would be a fail.
and a 16.
Wait, what's the 4th one that's 3 alive?
Oh, sorry. Let me just go with those first 3. So success and a fail and a fail.
Yeah. One's still gonna eat that one though.
Okay.
Yep. And then regenerate to 4.
Yeah.
Grow to huge.
So
Oh my god!
the one that is still doing pretty good, or no, sorry, the one that is not doing very great next to Eamon turns to him and goes to swing with 3 strikes.
No!
One.
A 21,
That's not a 1.
an 11, and a 10.
Okay. Hit and 2 misses.
Only 8 bludgeoning damage, or slashing damage, sorry.
Ooh.
That's the first hit of the game.
Could have been way worse. Could have been
Definitely could have been way worse.
significantly worse,
I
actually.
could have got 1 shot again.
Trust me, that could have been so much worse.
That's the first hit of the combat on us, pretty much.
I believe it. This would be like my 4th 1 round KO.
Yeah, the other ones do... Ooh, wait. The one that is right in front of Troy that is still alive turns and begins to feast on
Boy.
the one next to it.
Oh, man.
He's getting bigger!
He doesn't grow yet.
Oh my god!
His wounds do visibly mend. And then, let's see. The other one that is back here and restrained still by the web attacks him on as well. but at disadvantage because it's restrained. So, a 14,
Miss.
a 21,
Hit.
and a 5.
Miss.
7 slashing. Getting off so lucky.
Alright. Don't worry, we'll take that, alright?
Yeah, it's like tangled in the webs, and you can see it's like a dog or a cat when you put socks on them, and they kind of like flap their hands around or their paws
Alright.
trying to get free.
Yeah.
To use a reaction,
Okay.
and I'm going to cast at distance first level wounds on Eamon, and
okay.
you can now use your reaction, Eamon, to attack that man's.
Oh, I will attack that man's.
So you will recover plus 6 HP. So you pretty much negated that attack, and you get a free attack as a reaction.
Okay, so like as I get like a big slash in my arm, it would begin to stitch back together, and I would let out a punch at this thing.
Which is at advantage because it's restrained, I'm pretty sure.
Whew, yeah, it is. Yeah. It is.
By the way, you guys do not hear any other creatures outside, like towards the front. Just to be clear.
23 to hit.
23 hits.
I'm sorry, that's 8. 8 force damage.
8
Thought
force.
I updated that last turn, but I did not. I'm gonna update it this turn.
Okay, that damage has gone through, and that one is looking like it's on death's door right now.
I'd look up to Rylon and give him a nod.
I look down at you like I'm better than you, and I give you a nod.
It's fine. he just smirks, looks back at this fucking thing.
Come over to the turn of Rylon as these creatures have all spent their turns.
Rylon looks down at these creatures and he says, "They're eating her! Then they're going to eat me! Oh my god!" And he's going to let out a fire bolt at the creature in the back. The big boy
Dang.
in the back.
I forgot they have pack tactics.
Yeah, that would have been pretty useful. You kind of
Yeah.
fucked up.
Yeah, that's
Advantage attack, 24, takes 2d8, 2d10, 10 fire damage.
On which one? The one in the back?
Yeah, the one that's trying to nibble at Eamon in the back.
Okay, the one in the back. You strike it once in the side of the head, kind of like catch it as a blind spot, and its head like snaps to the side, cinders coming from it. One of its eyeballs pop out and collapses against the pew, shattering the one that Eamon is on. And Eamon, you are no longer on that pew.
Whoa, what happened?
jump, land on the ground.
And the web that it was being held in place by is now on fire.
Well, my Tailspire's freaking out.
Yeah, mine's kind of wigging out a little bit too.
Oh yeah, I have an exclamation mark.
Yeah, it keeps saying error. Oh, now all the changes that you made are just visibly showed up at the same time. Love that. But now I can see what you mean by them looking really funny when they're upside down. Especially the big ones.
Yeah, did you get to see the
I saw
like,
the small
emote?
ones, but like, yeah, it's funny to see them flip around.
It's so funny. Yeah, they just like, bloop, and then, bloop. Yeah. But anyways, so that was on fire, that spot that he was on, and so, I mean, he's already dead, so it doesn't really cause damage to him. But does that destroy the web in that spot?
In one round, the web will be gone, and anything there will take 2d4 fire damage.
Okay. Sounds about right. And
From
Rylon,
the web
so
spell itself, or is that from my firebolt?
That's from the web spell itself.
Wow. And that is my turn.
all right, undead, Eamon.
Eamon? Hello? Yeah, so
Eamon, yeah, let's go.
yes, Eamon the Biscone is going to hit these things some more. I'm going to. Oh, I can't select. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna move slightly like this. I'm staying in its range, right?
Yeah.
Jumping back up on this view.
The blind.
And first of all, I'm gonna attack this one right in front of me with the blade. So I'm gonna lash out at its foot here. 23 to hit.
23 hits.
Sick. Can it make a strength saving throw, please?
It can. Are you trying to trip it?
I'm trying to push this bitch back into the fire with my telekinetic force.
13.
Ah, he fails. So he gets pushed back 10 feet.
Okay. Does the restraint impact that at all?
Is he restrained already? Or are you saying will he get restrained?
Actually, he's the one that isn't restrained. I just double checked. He's
Yeah.
the one of them that is not restrained.
I think the only thing that happens is he'll take damage at the end of the web thing.
Mm-hmm.
With that, I now face this one. and I'm going to let out another attack at it as I pull my chain back and lash out again. It's an 8.
Okay. 8 hits. Does not hit. Sorry.
Wait, that one
Okay, I
is
was gonna say,
restrained
wait,
though,
what?
so you have advantage.
Oh, that one is restrained.
That was damage as well. That wasn't even an attack roll.
Oh, okay. I thought you were.
Oh.
Oh wait, no, sorry. Yeah, you already did the attack roll. So. Wait, what?
No. Yes. Okay. Yeah. That's the damage for the first roll. I'm an idiot. I just did it subconsciously. So that's the damage from that that save where I pushed him back 10 feet. That's the damage from that attack. This is the second attack with advantage. 27 to hit.
27 hits.
Okay. It's gonna be 7 slashing damage on that one.
Okay.
And I'm going to reserve my key point for now. Actually, I'm just gonna stay here. That's it. Attack twice. Chill.
Okay, so number 2 and number 1 are still alive. So, sorry, a lot of tallies here. Kind of crazy.
Oh yeah.
All right, and so you said that was your turn. Sorry.
Yep.
The fight is sort of coming to a close, but unlike the Feral Faithful, these creatures are mindless and purely just out it for food. And we come away from Undead's turn and over to Nezzy. Nezzy, you hear a shout from behind, back the way of the windows. It is Stazriel. He seems to be claiming that he thinks things are clear.
Good. That's good. Okay. I will continue attacking this one that is still in front of us. And my circle disappeared, but that's okay. I'll just redo it.
When does the web burn up again?
It was in one round, and that was on Rylon's turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Rylon's
I would
turn.
assume it would be on Rylon's turn. So just after their turn.
Okay, 10
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay. Same thing as always. This one is restrained, right?
The one that is closest to you is restrained. Yes.
Okay, cool. We'll be maybe the first attack. It's always a 50-50, but you know.
Okay.
Okay, so 2 hits.
Both hit.
That is 12 plus 5,
17.
so 17 piercing. Plus 1d8 for an 8. Thunder, and if it moves, then it will take more damage.
Okay.
And then we will hit it with the tongue.
Okay.
Why are you gonna laugh at that, man?
This is funny. I just think of
Okay,
this
go for
like,
it,
you
go
know,
for it.
couple century old mage elf that has like all this like knowledge and power at his disposal, and he's always around.
Look, it's a good spell,
turns his tongue
right?
into a serpent, and that one misses though.
Yeah,
sadly.
that one definitely misses.
The serpent actually whips around and bites you in the eye. You go blind.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's my turn. Now I'm blind.
Alright, Troy and Isaac. Isaac, in a quick moment of thought, grabs onto the medium one that's been dead here on the ground and pulls it away, and that's his turn.
Smart.
Troy sticks around for the fight and continues to hammer on this creature for 2 hits, and this is the one that is restrained. For 2 hits,
Troy has been a beast this fight.
he has been, and he's just like laying in, just swing after swing. You can hear him heaving under, I mean, he doesn't really have any helmet in front of his face, so it's not really echoey at all, but you can still hear him heaving under each swing that he brings down, and just bashing in crunches and wet thuds as this flail smacks into the side of this large monstrosity in front of you. It comes out of his turn and over to these creatures, which the one that is next to you guys turns around.
Wisdom saves.
Oh,
Both of them.
an 11
Fails.
and a 12.
Fails. They take 11 radiant damage each.
Oh,
Yeah, let me see that feed going on. Yeah, right.
okay. Then the one that is in the back, farther away from Rylon, is looking like it's on death's door, while the one that's in the front begins to just rip off like a single leg from this other one that's dead over here, and just start like shredding the meat from it, like it's a rib. And I'm gonna just reach over and grab this one, and that one is eaten. And you can see this one, like the purple sort of blackish mist growing more and more around its skin, and getting darker and darker and more dense as its wounds heal. It is now, or it's not Rylon's turn yet. This one is in the back, and it is still alive, actually, just barely. Is the one that is not restrained. It has to make a dex save, right?
Well, the fire is the web is burning, so I don't know. I mean, technically it's not gone yet, but it will be gone.
If it's not gone and he's still restrained, then probably.
He was not restrained, but he will make a dex save because the web's not fully gone yet. So 23 passes,
Mhm.
and it's going to move out of that spot
Good idea. Good idea.
over to Eamon.
Yeah.
He makes a dex saving throw. Spectral Reuben.
Yeah.
Oh!
Spectral Reuben.
Oh, dude, Spectral Ruben, a 24.
Passes. 10 radiant damage.
10 radiant's enough.
Ah.
You see it
Radiant.
like start to leap through the air, jumping towards Eamon before it gets caught like in the back of the spine. And it's like the Occam's razor sort of, where you don't see like a physical gash, but you do see like a ring of thin light go all the way around its like torso, and it just kind of goes paralyzed and limps right on the ground right there.
He would like visibly be flinching, like holding a hand up in fear.
Like it falls a little bit short, grinding against the ground face first, right up to your foot, Eamon, just below the or just below your foot, right at the edge of the pew.
Whew.
Shouts out B-side.
And it is now Eamon's turn.
All right. Now I'm gonna face this thing again, and I'm letting out a flurry of attacks. 21 to hit, 13 to hit.
Both those hit.
Very nice. 12 slashing damage and a strength saving throw if it's still alive.
It is definitely still alive.
Okay, cool.
A 5 on the saving throw.
Okay, he fails. So as like my last one hits him, he like some force would pull him towards me.
Oh, towards?
Oh yeah, I'm pulling him right up to me. And I'm gonna use
Okay.
my bonus action, spend a key, and smash him in the face. And I'm gonna use my real fist just so it's bludgeoning damage, because I want to really punch this dude in the face.
Okay.
Oh, 12.
12 misses.
Oh,
Nat 1, 8 misses.
oh, painful.
Not so cool.
Not so cool.
It like puts up both of its arms in defense, and you smash against it. No damage really kind of getting through to anything vital.
He'd like dejectedly sigh. And I'm gonna try to jump away from this thing. I assume it's gonna attack me.
It is.
It's fine with me.
I'm all-
Better 1 than 3.
A 15.
That's a miss. Whew.
Oof.
Swipe behind me, and I begin pitter-patter running this way, all the way behind my fellows. And I would have my turn here.
Okay. And Nezzy, at the top of your round, Troy is like huffing as he's swinging over and over, and he just mutters something like, "Don't let it ease the third one," just like under his breath, like just between each, heavy gasp of air.
Okay.
Ilfharyn, kill him!
Is this one looking like on the brink, or what are we saying here?
It's like
Because he did
ate.
just eat one.
It's pretty unhurt right now.
Yeah. That's gonna be an issue. Okay, how big is these? Are 10 feet, right?
Yeah, they're large size, so 10 feet by 10.
They're large size. Okay. All right. I got a plan. Maybe it'll work. Maybe. It could not work. All right. The web disappears. And I will
Okay.
cast another spell. So where the dead one is, I am going to silent image an illusion. And the illusion is going to be a large barrel. Now this can be up to a 15-foot cube. So it's definitely big enough to encompass this entire thing. And this dead one is simply going to just be a barrel, basically. And I'm hoping that these things are dumb enough that it's going to fall for this obvious illusion.
Okay. Let me. You know what's kind of funny about that is so I can make a barrel.
And I can make it giant.
I can. So let me.
Joke's on you, they have true sight.
Joke's on you, they have 45 wisdom, so they see right through your illusion.
I don't actually know how to make inanimate objects tokens. I saw them do it on the. Dang. Okay, it's just gonna be a barrel.
Okay, that's fine. That works. Okay.
Wait, I'm like hide and seek. What is this shit?
And you know
Drop
what? I'm gonna move back a little bit. I don't want this thing to attack me. I don't want to ruin my concentration here. So I will back
Okay.
off just a tad.
I can convert prop to creature, and GM tools set size to
There we go.
go.
Oh yeah, big barrel.
Yeah,
All
giant
right.
barrel.
Okay, and that's gonna be my turn.
Okay, I like that. That's clever. Troy, not wanting to let this thing get distracted from the fight that's going on, and sniff and suss out this barrel, he's going to swing at it and miss both. The creature, kind of like refreshed after eating this recent corpse, and a little bit more dexterous and nimble. And as he misses both strikes, he's going to kind of circle around it, get behind it, and then his turn ends. These things have keen smell, so I'm gonna give it the opportunity to kind of like perception sniff this, but
Sure.
But it's also making a wisdom save.
oh, okay, a 14.
Fails. Takes 3d8 radiant damage. 21. Damn!
21. That's pretty
Yeah.
big. And you see it like it was eyeballing, like drooling over this corpse before it was turned into a barrel. And it sniffs the air a couple times, and it gets hit by these spirit guardians, and it loses focus on what's really there behind the image of the barrel. And it looks up at Rylon
Yeah, bring it on.
and attempts to attack him 3 times.
Bring it on, come on.
A 15, a 20, a 20.
2 hit.
For a total of 16 slashing.
Okay.
And I think this thing is going to try and move around and get closer to Eamon. Still staying within range of Troy. And you don't have a melee weapon out, do you, Rylon?
I mean, I have a mace, but
Do you have it in your hand though?
no.
You can punch it.
I can punch it.
If you want to.
Sure.
Just kick it in the head as it goes
I think,
by.
I think it's just going to be a flat strength check because I definitely am not proficient with fisticuffs. So, here we go.
Oh,
All
0.
And that 1 0.
I fall on the
Dang.
floor. Whoa!
He does like a
you dive down and he swats you out of the air. No. We don't really do much with nat ones in this campaign.
Whew.
Pussy.
But it kind of moves out of the way a little bit. And it's Rylon's turn.
Okay. Let me see what I got. I don't want to do anything crazy. I guess because it's technically like its head is like at my feet, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's kind of like on all fours, so it's like just a little bit below your feet. But yeah, it's pretty much there.
Okay, I'm just gonna, because I don't want to move because I don't want to get hit again, so I'm just going to shoot it with a firebolt at disadvantage because it's right in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
8.
Misses.
That's my turn.
Wow, dang.
Whew.
Undead.
Yeah. With this thing being right here, me loving that, I'm just gonna let out a full round of attacks here. Here comes the hook at him. 13 to hit.
13 does hit.
Sick. I slice him, and as I try to hit him again, I pull it back, slice him again.
14 hits.
Yeah. I'm also going to spend my last key point to let out a flurry of attacks against this guy before he messes me up. So I'm just going to keep rolling them all. Then I'll give you the damage.
No.
That's crit.
Ooh,
That's an 11. Whew.
it's a miss.
Okay. So it's going to be
8 plus
So-
5, 13.
13 slashing damage. And this is going to be the crit. So max out the first die, so it'll be
14.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yep.
14.
This one is bloodied.
Oh.
Whew. Yeah, I smash him in the face with some force power, and then
Actually-
I try to run. Sorry, go on.
You actually catch him with one of your like scythe kind of whips across the eye, and like leaves a huge gash that goes from above one of its eyes all the way down its face, like to its jawline, right at the underbite. And as you try and slip away, it tries to swing at you.
Oh yeah, I bet it does.
A 16.
Oh, that misses. Oh, thank God. By very little, that misses, and I run. So let's see. Hold on. Give me a second here. Seems to be very interested in chasing me, so let it. Ruler. It's been so long. Toggle rulers. Oh, there we go. Okay. And I run here.
Okay. And that's your turn?
That is my turn, sir.
Nezzy, you can see that this thing is like bleeding. It's pretty banged up. It's beat up. It's been hit plenty of times. It's healed a couple times. It's been hit plenty more times. And there you are.
Yeah, I still don't think I should get close to it. Those 3 attacks, I mean, even if I'm rolling a constitution advantage, is would very easily break concentration. And then it would grow. And that wouldn't be good.
You're gonna get hit regardless.
Would I get hit
And
regardless?
it will make another perception to try and sniff that out on its turn. So it's your gamble.
I can't. Alright.
You might as well just take it on, dude.
Well, I have another plan.
Okay.
I got another plan, don't worry. Okay, I'm going to move back. Let me see how far I can move here. Okay, I don't want that. Probably to about there. So we'll move to here.
Okay.
Now I am going. Now, I know what that illusion is, obviously, right? Because I casted it. I'm going to ready a spell. If I think that if its attention is changing from the current battle to consuming that thing, I will cast this spell,
Okay.
and that will be my turn.
All right.
Secret weapon.
Troy behind it is trying to get its attention away from you guys. Hits twice, and the creature could probably be felled in one solid turn of attacks. It's pretty beat up looking, but that's the end of his turn. Isaac continues to drag this thing a little bit further away. And it needs to make a wisdom save.
Yeah.
This could be it.
Come on.
A 16.
Passes. Takes 4 radiant damage.
Takes 4. Okay, it's gonna try and sniff this thing out.
Man, if you make me burn a big spell here, I'm gonna be pissed.
Rolls a 10. My DC was 14.
Oof.
Burn it.
And so, your held action was in case it had the intention of eating, correct?
Correct.
It looks like it's looking up at Rylon and it's just gonna swing at him.
All right.
Thrice.
Thrice. Possibly.
A 24 nat 20.
Yeah, that hits.
A 16 and
Misses.
an 11.
Misses.
So I need to add 2 more dice to that.
Ooh, I don't like that.
So 21 slashing.
Ooh, Rylon looks right fucked up, but not out yet.
In this hit as he catches you up there with a solid grasp once. Man, I wish he got up to the size bigger. Things hit big time when like grappling and knocking you guys distances away from it.
Yeah,
Shit is
if it
whack.
hit me one more time, it would have been really whack.
That's your turn. As it's like snarling and roaring and like gurgling blood.
All right, I'm gonna burn one more sorcery point, and I'm gonna just fucking point down at this thing, and I'm gonna shoot 2 fire bolts at it. First one, natural 1, fails.
Oh, pain.
Second one, 15.
Hits.
15 fire
For
damage.
15 fire. Okay, it's still alive,
What?
but not by much.
He's hacking.
Is that your turn?
Yeah.
You're not gonna try and move away from it?
Hell no.
Undead. This thing looks like it is beat.
I finally get to kill something. And I run up and attempt to chop this thing's head clean off with my scythe with 2 quick hits.
As it gets 2 natural ones.
Yeah, and
We
you're
might.
like so you're like swinging it in like an arch, and you just like bring that sort of arch right into contact with its neck for
21.
a 21 that hits and a 17 that hits.
Let's go.
I know your minimum
go.
damage, so it's your minimum damage is enough to kill it.
Yeah.
How do you do it?
And so it looks like it finally catches sight. Like the illusion is rid from its eyes, or it smells this thing in the barrel, and it reaches an arm out and pulls a leg out of it, the illusion sort of shimmering ones, and goes to bite it when you strike. How do you kill it?
Yeah, so he's running up and he sees it reaching out, and as it's distracted and looking at that last piece of food, I bring it down in an arc over its neck, and with 2 quick circular swings, first one cutting through like the back of its neck, second one cleaning the head off, I would
that's so sick.
strike its head from its body.
That is so sick, and its head like topples, its body kind of like still holding the leg up for a moment, like half a second before the body goes limp. as if the muscle memory was still there.
Whew.
And Troy shouts to Isaac, "We need to block the doors." And we come out of combat.
I break the concentration on my spirit guardians and I just kind of topple down as I'm extremely fucked up.
Walk up to this thing and wipe the gore off my blade, then wrap it back up.
And Troy and Isaac drops this body and runs over to. Let me bring this one out of. There we go. That's where it was. Troy and Isaac run over and they go about like trying to shift this this pew back into place, like in front of the door, and then the other one as well, kind of stacked over. Process takes them, not as long as it did originally bringing it all over here, because in this instance, it's already here. You guys don't really have to like move it a ton or anything like that.
While they're doing this, do I see anything else going on in the rest of the church? Do you want a perception check or anything?
I'd say a perception would work.
You got it, sir.
He finally gets it.
Yeah.
A 23. You see the last body from the windows topple down as Stazriel and Loden kind of clean up the mess of incoming creatures, and they hover up there for a moment, both kind of like getting closer and closer to their respective windows on each side of the building, and kind of peering their heads out. And they both come in and they give each other a nod before looking down at all of you guys down there.
They give them a wave. All clear.
They wave back and start to make their way down. You, just a reminder, all the pedestrians, all the civilians are downstairs, and the doors are now blocked. And we're out of turn order, so we can actually come out of Tailspire. Let my freaking room cool down a little bit.
My lord, what a combat. That was the gauntlet and a half. I loved it.
I'm just real happy you didn't eat that last thing. Thank you, Nezzy.
That was so clever. I loved that. That was awesome. I think that before we get into the resumed half of the rest of the session, we're gonna take a quick little break here. 5. Hey, we're back. And as we come back, the battle has just ended, and there's still pockets of conflict throughout the city. Nov Ostoya is huge. It is the capital of Ostoya, so it's a monstrous city, and these guys are only just within the walls pretty much, if you put in sort of relation to the rest of the city. But they can still hear pockets of conflict everywhere outside. Some of them close, some of them far, some of them very, very far, barely audible. You kind of have to really crane your ears and turn your head to hear it. And you hear the screeching of the pews being moved into place, and Isaac and Troy kind of link up next to each other, heaving and breathing and sighing in relief that that's over. Both of them having taken a couple hits, but nothing life-threatening. They're in much better condition than Rylon and Eamon probably. Well,
Rylon is kind of a little hunched over, holding his chest. His wings are just drooped. He's no longer flying. He's on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just kind of looking around, making sure everyone's all right. Kind of one eye closed, a little battered up, a little scratched. He's looking around at everyone. Eamon, how are you looking?
He'd turn and give you like a small thumbs up, and then his face would get a little green, and he'd turn around and puke some black ichor up.
Troy?
Good.
Isaac? Is everyone alright?
You hear the whoosh of wings as Loden and Stazriel land not far away, near Ilfharyn. Everything was quiet on our end. We expected a little bit more, I think. And that was Stazriel speaking up for the two of them. Loden is kind of like taking a cloth sash at his waist and using it to clean the blood off of his sword before sheathing it again.
Yes, this whole Dark Rain thing does not seem so bad, to be honest.
Oh, it gets worse, I assure you of that. We are only in the beginning still. It is a long and trying week, says Loden.
I suppose so. He starts like brushing some guts out of his hair.
I shall go retrieve the peons from the basement. And he goes to saunter kind of past you guys.
As he walks by, I let off like a shaky arm at his shoulder, and I kind of like hold him there, and like with one eye closed, kind of wincing a bit, I say, "Thank you for holding the rear."
Oh, it's my solemnite duty.
I don't
Yes,
like catching on.
Yeah, perhaps you could hold some sort of ceremony in the basement with the rest of the people in thanks for our victory. He
Are
gives
you
him a
kidding me?
smile.
It stinks down there, and it's damp. I will not have my people subjected to such a thing.
Okay, move along.
And you can hear the clang of his plate as he walks off. His wings tucked just right behind his back.
He's just sitting there pinching his nose, like fuck's sake.
Rylon just whispers, like kind of mumbles under their breath, "God, that guy sucks."
He makes you look good, actually, Rylon.
Rylon kind of just sits down. Oh, now what?
Well, we can't use the mirror, so we just have to sit here and pretend like we're a bunch of normal people hiding away in the church. And we can't leave because we can't risk these fucking commoners finding the mirror.
Is there any reason that we have to leave?
No, not when we have a magic fucking mirror that we can't use.
Might as well just
Stop it, Rylon.
bunker down here.
Well, if
We
we
need
have
a
the free
solution.
time, we need to cover these windows. They've all been shattered at the very least.
Wasn't he doing that?
Aye, but considering we just had an outbreak here, I'm sure whatever job he has done has been foiled, so...
Well, we do have one reason to leave, and it's to track down those things that you said told things we were coming.
The Luna Kidna, this is true. They are still out there. They could bring more.
They'll be back.
Okay, well, the next time that they appear, we should immediately try to wipe them out.
I think that goes without saying.
Great. I could use a sit.
We'll have a sit then.
Join
He
me.
sits.
Yeah. I look over at Spectral Reuben, and I just kind of glance over at him with the wince, like one eye closed, just kind of looking up at him as he's kind of... His back is towards me, I'm assuming, and he's just looking at the door.
He is, yep.
And
And
I just
the
feel
fur
like-
on his shoulders from the wolf pelt is just kind of like gently fluttering as if there's wind breezing through it, but no wind.
And Rylon thinks of Grabenstein, of when we killed Richten Visor, sorry, and how Reuben made
That
that.
was in Olstenburg.
Olstenburg, sorry. What did I say?
Gravenstein.
Grabenstein, sorry. Olstenburg, when we met up with the military general, and he essentially ousted me, when I ousted myself, essentially, for allowing Richten Visor to live, and Reuben made that split-second decision to kill him, but I was still banished, and then I remembers the being in Grabenstein, and those weird bug-eyed like hunchback giant monsters that we encountered that were just like screaming names and stuff because I accidentally said Reuben's name.
Oh yeah.
And then just kind of the final goodbye of Falahart when him and Gabriel kind of vanished, and just kind of just gives us like a reluctant smile and kind of shakes his head and just kind of looks back towards the group. Right, rest it is for now, right? I could use one.
I suppose so. Speaking of rest, Ilfharyn, do you still have that magic bubble?
Yes.
Could you, in theory, use that to hide the mirror? And us within it?
It's like
Possibly.
the ring from Lord of the Rings.
I mean, here's the thing. I did think of that, but the only issue that came up in my mind. Normally, you cast it in the open, yes, like a forest or something like that. You find a clearing, and you. So the dome is a dome, you know.
Right.
It's not like a half dome.
Mm.
I don't know what would happen if you cast it next to a wall.
Is it corporeal? Like, can you I don't know. Magic is something I can do, but not my strong suit.
I don't know what you mean entirely by corporeal.
Can like does it interact with materials around it? So, for example, if there was a tree and you casted it, does it go right through the tree?
Yes.
So why could it not go through the wall?
Well, I suppose it could.
Sits there and scratches his chin.
We'd have to try it. Again, I haven't casted it next to a tree. I just didn't feel the need to.
And experimenting is always good before it's...
But, you cast it on grass, ground, all of those things. You're going to have a blade of grass sticking out, partially.
Right.
So I would assume so.
It is not really physical, but... Anyway. He, lies back again on the ground, fully back. I'm tired of talking. And, I'd like to rest.
Okay, short rest or a long rest?
Short rest. For
Okay.
me, at least.
Because you guys just woke up from a long rest, actually...
Yeah.
Man, 2 hours ago, maybe, at most?
Barely.
Yeah, not long.
I'm just winded. I just want to
Short rest sounds good for me.
take a nice sit.
Okay. Where exactly are you guys sitting? Is it just, in the middle of the floor near where the battle ended, or...?
That's where I am
Yep.
from there.
Yeah, I am moving. I'm laying down on the floor. Just spread. I'm tired.
And Troy is sitting down on at the edge of the pew, that the half of the pew that is outstretched from the doors. And Isaac, you can hear his jingle as he's making his way closer and closer to you, Rylon. This may not be the best time.
Rylon's sitting there with his eyes closed. He opens one eye and looks up.
I think I know what I want you to say to him.
Lets off a soft chuckle. Alright, then what is it?
I was thinking about it, and there's so much I want to say. So, I would say, son, sorry I wasn't around. I'll explain it when I see you. Rylon conjured an image of you, and you look like your brother. Stay safe. And I think that's it.
Rylon sits there, thinking. He just kind of sits on it for a bit.
Do you think it's too much to lay on him, all of a sudden?
No. If my math is good, then you didn't utilize all of the words necessary for the spell, so I will pre-warn him. How about that?
Right.
Just give me one moment.
I understand. Meanwhile, the people from the basement start to make their way up the stairs on one side, following behind Lodin. And Lodin is just kind of waving them along, not saying anything, the jingle of his armor there. He may seem like a dickhead, but he did put in a lot of effort there, and so he's still kind of short of breath a little bit, and he's just conserving his words. And he kind of leads everyone past you guys over towards the back of the cathedral, where it is, quote unquote, probably safest. That's where they've been hanging out, just sitting and laying down on the pews, and that's where they slept at nighttime, or that's where they probably will sleep at nighttime, I mean. And one of the individuals, I think that this would probably stand out to Ilfharyn. Whether or not the rest of you take note of this is up to you. But one of them is walking by, and he's holding a rock in, a small rock, maybe small enough to fit in your palm, but it's glowing with a light, as if the light cantrip was cast on it. And also kind of tucked away in that hand is a small piece of phosphorescent moss. And he's got a small book clasped in his other hand. The book is shut. I figured, being a man of magic, that might be of interest to you, but if it's not, then it's not.
No, I think it is. Would you allow an Arcana check for more information?
I would, or you could make a perception to kind of glean a little bit more detail, either one.
I'm terrible at perception. I'll do an Arcana. We'll see how it goes. That's a 20.
Okay. It's definitely the light spell. The book does not look like a spell book. And the phosphorescent moss is a component that is necessary for the light cantrip.
Mm-hmm. And this guy's where, sorry?
He's kind of in the loose formed line of everyone streaming out from the basement and across the open area where you guys are sitting, and towards the back of the cathedral, towards the pews. He's maybe halfway in the line.
Are we in the middle of our short rest right now, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I gathered that you guys were sitting down, kind of where the battle ended, and
Okay.
just kind of.
No, I wasn't sure if we were like.
But
done.
he walks like, I say they're walking by. They're walking like maybe 10 feet away from you as they're passing by.
Okay. I'll whistle to try and get his attention. And I'll kind of attempt to make eye contact with him if he looks my way, and I'll wave.
Part of me wants to make you roll a performance for that, but I'm not going to do it. So
You can, I have a proficiency in performance because I'm a blade singer.
all right, roll it.
All right, it's still only a +2. I don't have great charisma. But, 15.
Okay,
I can
so
whistle.
so you're whistling, and you kind of like purse your lips. You whistle once, and everyone's walking by, and multiple people glance your way, and he is one of them, but you're the one that he's looking at, and so he kind of locks eyes with you for a moment, and he waves back to you. Can I help you with something?
Come, sit.
He turns to look back at the line and kind of like looks around, his eyebrows a bit curious, and makes his way over towards you before sitting down next to you cross-legged.
I look at him as if expecting for him to speak first.
He's got like raven black hair, very short, kind of almost combed over to the side, but it's messy, so it's a messy comb over. And he's got like a 5 o'clock shadow, and his accent, which is kind of like for us, real life people, kind of like a German English sort of muddy mess, which you, having spent so much time in the region, I think would recognize as being something from Nordenland, the northern province of the Brock Empire.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need something?
I don't need anything. Just curious.
Well, my name is Avolf Krieger.
What are you doing all the way over here?
You're not going to say your name?
Ilfharyn.
Ilfharyn. I'm on the search for something.
On the search for something.
Yeah. It's he kind of like looks around conspiratorially for a moment. Why are you here?
Well, I had to deliver a package, and obviously the skies went to dark as they do, and I met some friends, so now I'm here for.
Your face and hand are still blurry, right?
Mm-hmm.
He
Always.
seems pretty fixated on those, on primarily your hand. He finds it hard to look you in the eyes, it would seem. So he's trying to
It is
focus on your
hard.
hand.
It is hard to look Ilfharyn in the eyes.
Yeah. He dismisses the light cantrip on the small rock, and kind of tucks the book away.
Where did you learn that?
It's I'm just starting my studies in magic. It's just something I picked up.
That's nice.
Nothing too serious.
No, it doesn't have to be serious in the beginning. Never is, right?
Yeah. Everyone starts somewhere, as they say.
Exactly. Yes. It's a good practice for the hands, practice for the incantations.
Where are you from?
Originally, far from here, Tol Vermil.
Tolemel. I'm familiar with this place. I'm from Landhaus, personally.
Landhouse. Yes, I know it. Passed through there, not too long ago.
Well, for what reason, if you don't mind me asking?
It's a rather long story, but well, there really isn't a short version because you'll have questions, but if you would bite your tongue on the questions, just for now at least.
He goes to cut you off. Does it have something to do with your hand?
Yes.
He kind of runs his tongue along the inside of his lower lip, on the outside of his teeth.
I attended a school, like I'm assuming you might one day if you're serious about learning. And things happened, and for a while, everything was kind of gone. And then things reappeared gradually. And then the world came back. And then I went to Landhouse.
Are you speaking of Ulmir's Gate?
I blink a few times, rapidly. How do you know of that name?
He kind of shrugs, brings his head to the side. Word gets around.
See, I knew a man in Land House who was very well versed in the events there. But from what I gathered from him, everything was kind of covered up in a way, smoothed over.
He kind of like rubs, he stuffs away the moss and the rock into a pocket before kind of like rubbing his thumb into the other palm, possibly a nervous habit. I read somewhere that there was another wizard that tried to do what they did in Ulmir's Gate, and well, it didn't work out. And so now I'm on the search for him. He tried to create his own pocket dimension.
And your search led you over here?
My search led me to many places. I think that it will lead me somewhere else after this place, but for now, it led me here, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you know the man's name?
He kind of drums his fingers along the book behind him that he's kind of like tucked away, and separating his hands to do so. He didn't put his name in the book.
Is that the book?
It's a diary of sorts. Yes.
I'd like to read it sometime, just to glean some information, if that's okay with you. I'm still not entirely sure what really transpired at Ulmir's Gate.
Well, how about this? We can look at the book, and I've read it a few times now. I'm still trying to understand everything, searching for hidden messages, perhaps. I can't find anything, so maybe another set of eyes could help. He brings the book out in front of him, and tries to kind of scoot over towards you.
Sure, I'll take a look, see if I can find anything that you missed.
There's it's a leather-backed book, so like a hardcover and hardback, but it's seen better days. It's very weathered. It's clearly been around for a long time, and through wear from an individual's hands, the kind of stamped printing on the front of it is worn and not as defined as it used to be, or the stamped indent, I should say, the symbol. But it is easily recognizable to you as a journal from Ulmir's Gate. It's kind of like the symbol of a gate with a single sort of pearly dot in the middle, representing magic, and the archway, sort of the symbol that is there, representing Ulmir's Gate, the college. And there's kind of like a gentle flashback that you have, or perhaps just a moment of realization that you had one of these once. You don't know where it went, but everyone was given one.
You said the name. There was no name in this.
No, I've like I said, I've been over every page a few times. I met the individual within the city. He was looking for some coin, and I thought that the journal was interesting, so I paid him some coin for it. He needed supplies to travel to somewhere.
Well, I suppose the good thing is that whoever wrote this must be out here, because from what I saw, nothing was left from the college. No books, no building, no people. Not how they went in, anyway. So, whoever this man is, or one of the two, they're going to look like me in some way. It would be quite an easy spot, as you can imagine.
They were mostly covered in wraps and a hood.
That's wise. I was doing that for a while.
He kind of begins to finger through the pages, kind of glossing over in details each page that he's kind of folded the edge over. This one details that the founding mages wanted to create a permanent rift to the ethereal plane. Clearly that did not work. But it was for the purpose of expanding their limitations. The one who wrote this book seemed to somewhat knowledgeable. It doesn't state how they managed to do it, so I don't think that he was one of the few founding members. I've been trying to find any hint of it in this book. You notice that the book's the journal starts at the year 215 YOD is the first signed date. He then proceeds to flip from page to page kind of quickly, just sort of mumbling to himself. These pages are not of great importance. They just details the individual's travels for decades, with entries only made by the decade. A very patient person, I would assume. Not much of note, just dead ends. And then he arrives at another page that is folded over. Are you doing anything during this time that he's kind of trickling from page to page? Or?
No, I'm listening to. It's 2:15, right?
The current year is 301. The date that the journal starts at is 2:15. Correct.
And that's like 100, like, because in my backstory I have dates, right?
You do.
And this is 2:15.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just listening to him.
They abruptly scribble an entry on this page in a hand that appears much shakier and faster than the previous entries. It's titled 301 YOD. And then he goes on to read it. And the brief kind of note of it is that it expresses that the individual has finally found a lead. And it points them to a city or a long abandoned town west of Malkovia called Telstar. And that there's no time to waste, but they need coin for the supplies. And they just left that was like the end of the note. There's no time to waste. I need coin. And then they cut off their message and haven't made an entry after that.
Telstar. Hey, Rylon?
Right.
Telstar. That's something you've said before, right?
And then mustering strength out of curiosity and hit both his eyes now open. Yeah, Telstar, yeah. That is where my friends and I need to meet. It's northward from here.
Mm-hmm. When were you thinking you had to do things first, right?
Well, it depends. I was here with Halifax and Eamon, but we were looking to potentially go to the underbelly of Nov Ostoya and find the obelisk, but my ultimate destination is Telstar, yes, as soon as possible.
He raises his hand from the ground.
Wasn't there other things about Bonasso?
Yes, he sits up now. I planned on returning there following my discovery of the obelisk, but my plans slightly changed when I met Rylon here, and I figure I owe him to at least get him to his friends. So, but yes,
Right.
my manor is currently quite infested.
So, from here, would we go to Telstar or Bonasso?
Think that depends on Rylon's friends, no?
I am going to ask for an update shortly.
Sure. Okay. I was just checking. It's just the name came up in this book, and I thought I'd heard it before. As in that you had spoken about it.
Aye, I did.
Okay.
Awolf is just listening along, intrigued by the conversation.
Well, this is some interesting things. See, from what I remember, 215 would be an odd period. 215 would be starting writing this essentially after doing what I did, after awakening, more or less. And then at some point this individual would have come out of what I assume would be the ethereal plane and would have begun wandering around. This is what they did within the plane, what they did without, everything like that.
And do you have any idea how they managed to make the rift?
You mean the leaders of Olmer's Gate?
Yeah.
Knowledge like that is far above me. And it is not only far above, but even from the relatively little that I know, it's an incredibly audacious thing to attempt. You have to be either extremely confident, too confident, clearly, since it went wrong, or stupid to attempt something like that, to be quite honest. In my opinion.
He seems kind of interested in the conversation, really listening along, kind of nodding, eyes wide.
And do you think that the same thing could be used for other planes? Like, the Fae or perhaps the Aether?
Possibly, but again, something temporary is something temporary is within the realm of possibility, right? There are spells that can do those kinds of things, but permanent. That's a very that's anchoring two things that are not intended to be anchored together.
And so, you were on the other side in the ethereal plane?
Yes, and I can pass there even now.
Does it hurt when you do it?
No.
Do you change at all?
I don't think I change. Maybe I do. I don't know. It's difficult to say. The rate at which I changed in where I was is difficult to place, and the rate at which I could change by traversing into the realm is equally as difficult to say.
He nods, taking a couple like mental notes. You can see his like the cogs turning behind his eyes.
All I know is that something from that realm became a part of me, and well, in a way, I suppose it's ironic. You know, they were trying to create a permanent gateway and something that you could walk through, almost. You know.
Yeah.
But instead, you have permanence in the individual. You have a molding of these two things, again, that should not be molded together in the slightest. They're two distinct things. And this is what you end up with. I kind of move my hand around.
He purses his lips and shuts the book, kind of tucking it back away within his robe, or tunic, I should say.
How long did you study at the college before the event happened?
Not too long at all. Maybe just over 10 years, I believe. 12 or 13. It's hazy.
His eyes sort of start to trail around, possibly in thought, possibly looking for something, and he's kind of like looking around the cathedral, swinging his head from the door over towards the stairs that lead to the basement, and then around to the pews, and then past the mirror and back around to the other pews, kind of lingering in a couple spots.
Right, well, I should get back to my studies and speak to the others.
Sure. If you want, in payment for this, I could try and teach you something, just a cantrip, just something other than light, something a bit more fun, you know?
That could be good.
Mm-hmm.
What did you have in mind?
Well, I suppose you have a choice. Illusion or evocation.
Kind of brings his lips together in thought for a moment.
I think illusion would be good.
Okay. Minor illusion it is. I'll come find you at some point, or you find me, and we'll sit down and I'll take you over a few things.
He nods, offering you a warm smile, and slowly starts to stand up, stretching his back out and kind of like bringing both of his bald fists down to his lower back as his back arches backwards. And you hear a couple pops and cracks while he's stretching. He looks like he's maybe about in his mid-20s or late 20s.
Great. I'll come find you then.
Excellent.
And he offers you one more smile and nod before turning and stepping off, beginning the about 100-foot walk over to the pews.
I watch him as he walks, and then I turn to Rylon and Eamon as they nurse their wounds. That was interesting.
He'd call up from the ground.
What?
Don't worry about it. Just get some rest.
Okay, I'm sure you handled it.
I need to do something really quick, and I'm going to hold on to my symbols bubble. And I purposely saved 2 spell slots for this. I'm going to cast Sending twice.
Ooh.
I am going to send 2 messages to Reuben. The first one being, Reuben, it's Rylon. Any updates? We are in Nov Ostoya. Dark Reign has been hell. You both have been in my prayers. 25 words per message, he says with a chuckle, the last bit there. And then following up with that, there's another message. A message from someone special. Son, sorry I was not around. I'll explain it when I see you. Rylon conjured an image of you. Stay safe. And then Rylon will immediately just kind of fall back and lay on his back as he is almost completely spent.
And as you kind of fall onto your back, are you still holding your symbol at all, or?
Yeah, he'll be clutching it for a bit as he falls on his back, and then he'll kind of just like slowly loosen the grip as he kind of falls into like a light nap.
Mm-hmm. Before you fall into that nap, as you are still holding on to this symbol, you hear whispering. There's a female voice, and I think that you could easily discern it as Matisse's. She says quietly,
I don't know if you're hearing this, Rylon, but I don't feel safe here. I pray that we'll be able to find you when Dark Reign ends, and that you're safe. The Raven Court is not what it seems. Be careful.
Stazriel is not very far away from you. Loden is all the way over the pews, but Stazriel is probably about 10 feet away from you, just like sitting down, wings sprawled out.
That was I would assuming being the sending spell, right? So I have an immediate reply on that.
Make an Arcana check, perhaps,
Okay.
or a Religion, one or the other.
I'll do. I guess they're the same thing, so I'll just do Arcana. 13.
That wasn't a spell.
Wasn't a spell. That's strange.
She's praying.
Praying to who, Eamon?
Praying to you.
I just kind of murmur to myself, "Matisse, just let me die," and I just kind of fall into a nap. And I'll take a short rest, or if I can, that's what I'll be doing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'm kind of getting the vibe that you're all sort of tuckered out and you're taking short rests.
You're damn right. All my keys gone.
Is that
I'm absolutely fine, but I'll take a short rest. I didn't take a lick of damage in that fight.
I mean, is there something else you would do during that hour?
No, I'd take a short rest for arcane recovery.
Okay.
I will. As I'm laying there, I kind of like. It's like you know when you have those dreams where like you're falling asleep and it's like you're immediately like falling and then you like wake up immediately.
Yeah.
I have one of those and I like shoot back up and then I reach into my bag and I pull out the chain of Imperius.
Oh.
And even though I'm really fucked up, I am going to kind of hold it in my hands and I'm going to try my best to attune to it.
Okay.
Whew.
It'll take you a bit of time. Not like I don't like to use the standard like hour attunement rule. I think that's kind of box-minded.
Yep.
I think that in this case it would probably take you about just like 3 minutes of like really trying to connect to it. It's like you're trying it's like you're trying a lock with a chain of 100 keys, and nothing feels right. Like the key goes in, but it won't turn, and it like some of them grind on their way in, and this is all metaphorical, of course, but that's kind of the feeling. Is you're just really trying to connect with it, and it's rejecting you. And about the X amount of times later, a warm feeling washes over you, and it sort of clicks. Like, not a literal physical click, but it clicks.
I look down at it.
Is it around your neck?
No, I was just holding on to it.
Okay. Well,
But now that it
is.
clicks, I'll wrap it around my neck. Even
Okay.
though it kind of feels a bit awkward, feels out of place,
Mhm.
because it definitely has a symbol of Imperius, strapped all around it. So it's like, it's a bit awkward.
Yeah. Stazriel's watching you the whole time.
But as I put it around my neck, I'm gonna kind of hold up the trinket itself, and just like hold it in front of me, and like between my thumb and my index finger, just kind of like analyzing it, just giving it a couple more glance overs
Mm-hmm.
before I let it drop, and then where I kind of so tuckered out between all that, my head just kind of hangs a little bit, and my eyes just kind of drift off.
Mm-hmm. And for the listener, what that item looks like, it's a little gold chain, kind of like a little piece of jewelry, a necklace, that comes down, and the two ends of the chain connect to two like tips of angelic wings or seraphine wings, and the wings go from the tips all the way to the center where they meet at the inside edges of the two wings, and engraved on the back of this little tiny wing trinket is the symbol of Imperius, which is kind of two balled up fists that have shackles binding them together, and the fists are pulling apart from each other, breaking the shackles free. And that's the symbol of Imperius. And so that's kind of what Rylon has now around his neck as he lulls off into sleep. And the three of you would get your short rest and wake up to Loden, who is hovering above you. Rylon kind of like nudges you with his boot.
What?
What are you doing?
I'm resting. What does it look like?
What is that thing on your neck?
What?
That
Um,
thing.
I kind of like flutter my eyes a bit as I'm rubbing a bit of like crusties out. I look down, then I just see like I'm like dripped up at this point. I have 3 chains around my neck.
True.
2 of them being Solima's chains, and one of them being the trinket of Imperius. My symbol is what? What about it?
What, are you some sort of collector now?
Collector.
Yes. You have 2 different faiths around your neck. I don't know what to make of it. What are you doing? Are you not faithful to Solima?
Christ, I'm trying to sleep. Shut up. Kind of like rubbing his eyes on the ground.
Of course I'm faithful to Solima. What kind of question is that?
Then where's your trinket? Why don't you have one? Why are you being an imposter?
Because I never had one. At least I don't recall one. And plus I was downcasted. It's the only reason why I'm in your filthy time. And I stand up. Dark Rain. Aether Kindred. Talk! I stand up and I kind of like meet him eye to eye. Even though he's probably a little bit taller than me.
I think just like an inch or two.
I am here. A reason beyond my own comprehension. But I am doing what I damn well can to protect the people that I care dear.
He brings up a...
My support of Solima is none of your concern.
He tries to bring a finger up to your mouth as if to shush you.
You can try.
Okay. Make that a sleight of hand. A 19.
Oh, yeah, he'll definitely beat me, but I guess I'll with opposing sleight of hand.
Sure. I kind of slap his hand out of the way, maybe.
Yeah. 14.
It brings... Quiet! You're going to wake Eamon.
Wait. Short rest, baby. I get favor of the gods back. We're doing it.
No,
Is
on
that
this.
just a 1d4, though?
It's a 2d4.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm definitely doing it right now. Hold on.
Okay.
Do
Fuck
not
this guy.
silence me.
Yeah. Okay, you said he rolled a 19?
Yeah. Ah, total
So close.
17. So close. He like brings up the finger, puts it like right up against your lips. The classic shush. You're going to wake up Eamon.
Already done.
You're mixing religious symbols. You're waking up your friends. Have you no dignity?
All the dignity I had left was letting your foolish self in this church.
Foolish self? I am a seraph of Solima!
You're nothing more than a token seraph.
He kind of like brings his hand away, gasps a little bit, mouth slack-jawed, steps back half a step, instinctively brings his hand down and places it on the hilt of his longsword across his chest, like bring his arm across his chest. Say that one more time.
Token seraph.
He steps back another half step, eyes kind of darting to you, and then to Eamon, and then to Ilfharyn.
Mon sits up.
I didn't think that you would actually say it again. I shall let it slide this once. But know that I will not have you mocking me. Especially not in the presence of other followers of Solima. And he gestures to Stazriel and then to the people back at the pews.
Then dare not disrespect me or mine in my church again.
Your church is not a holy ground yet. It is not a church. It is a vile place of worship of a demon.
Then perhaps you should go.
I held guardian over a disgraced shrine of Solima for 2 decades.
Then why aren't you there protecting it?
Because I was told to come here.
So what of you of the church back there? Have you left them all for dead? The people that live there? The sanctuary?
There is no one there. It was only me. It was always only me.
And you said the place was desecrated already?
It was in ruins when I left. It has been in ruins for years.
I suppose not the best guardsmen then.
You do not know what I've been through. You think that I earned these wings for nothing? That I did not stand up for my faith? I was a paladin of Solima before I was ever a seraph. He kind of like draws the sword just a couple inches from the sheath, looking down at the blade. This sword has slain many vile creatures, and many that would see Solima's shrine desecrated. I did all that I could. I was not enough.
And I believe you. And I mean no disrespect. But I won't have you come here into my home and disrespect me and my friends. Now, if what you say is true, and that sword lay the waste of all those who speak ill of our silent seraph, then you owe me the same respect. Because if it wasn't for me and my friends, then your followers would be corpses.
He lifts his head up, chin up, nose up, looking down at you just a little bit, sticking the longsword all the way back in the sheath. You can hear it like clang as the hilt of it, or the handguard, smacks into the scabbard. And then he turns at a sharp 90-degree angle away from you, before turning his head to follow. And with a humph, he begins to walk away towards the pews.
Rylon just lets out a sigh.
Reminds me of you a little bit, Rylon.
Bolt is stubborn.
How so?
Well,
Cesril smirks a little bit, shrugs, let's Eamon finish the sentence.
You both seem very hard stuck on your ideals. His just are a little bit more extreme?
No, they're not. They're exactly the same.
Right.
This is why we butt heads. And we're going to continue to butt heads because we are the same person.
Well, I would not go that far. If you start spouting off like he does, me and you are going to be very unhappy friends.
Eamon, you haven't known me very long.
That's true.
But it is a good window to peer through to where I might have ended up if I so choose to follow down the path that I did. Perhaps look past people's personalities and their own trials and tribulations and only see the monsters that lay in front of my eyes. Trust me, I've befriended enough monsters at this point, and I look around the room to know the truth.
Yes, I'm still human, mostly.
Mostly. As I look at the room the church that's filled with black ichor puke.
Alright. See? This is where if Ilfharyn could clean this stuff up with the wave, it would come in use. I'm telling you.
I'm not making it my purpose in life
Sure,
to clean up
sure.
after your black puke.
It's not my fault. It just happens.
It's not your fault. It just happens and it comes from you.
right.
I would say it's your fault. Whose fault is it?
Someone else's?
Whose?
Not me.
Let's get to the bottom of this. Whose fault is it exactly?
Yeah. Was it that?
I don't know.
I think it's that. Wouldn't it be that Seraph of Imperius that brought forth the void into the city of Bonasa?
If that is what happened, yes. I don't think he, in particularly, has been proven to be the one who did it, right?
Eamon, if I may,
Please.
don't you have everything to rid yourself of the curse now?
Yep, he does.
I have multiple ingredients for such a ritual. I would have to return to that lich and his undead army.
Are you sure that you would have to?
That was the deal. I don't know how to do it myself. So right now it's at the back of the priorities list. And
I cross my arms.
he shoots you like a nervous glance. And we'll get to it at a later point. We are very close to achieving my mission, so I need to focus on that right now. It's been many years, and we're almost there.
You know, I don't know if you want to be cured.
I didn't want to have to say it, but it sounds that way. I think you like the power.
I don't think that either one of you have anything to say about it, and it's not any of your business when I do or do not get my interesting little problem fixed. I've had it for quite a while now, and
It does not become our problem, no matter how much black puke you throw up.
it is certainly a inconvenience sometimes.
Well, I'll tell you what, Eamon. The more you puke around here, the less, longer it's going to take for this place to be holy ground. So we might as well keep,
Really?
up chucking.
I will continue to consider that.
The laughter and conversation that you guys are having, lighthearted as it is broken up, whether or not you choose to talk through it is up to you guys, of course, but there's a sudden shriek, like a scream of fear. It's a human. It's somebody from over by the pews. And it's immediately followed by a couple shouts and murmurs, like everyone is all kind of looking. And you see materializing
Oh no.
in the air, above Loden, like about a dozen, like sort of barbs of radiant light, like little arrows made of light, and he is pointing them at a woman that is clutching onto her arm that has transformed into a large crab claw.
Oh no.
What is going on? He says as he looks down the hall.
He releases the barbs, and they launch through the air, pelting this woman like a pincushion. And the last two of them just zap right through her. These beams of radiant energy sticking into the pew and then dissipating. They sort of dissolve upward into nothingness, and she falls to the ground, lifeless. I have it under control. It was an aberrant horror. He kind of like looks around, eyeing every person, his brows pursed together angrily. He draws his longsword, coming over
Rylon, you should save that person.
to ensure that they are dead.
Rylon immediately is going to run over.
I also stand up and start running over.
I will do the same.
And
He turns to you guys, like hearing you clattering over. It's about an 80-foot run, but he's like kind of walking over towards this woman.
Holds there. He like is holding out his arm. Just holds there. Stop.
It's fine. It's okay. I took care of it.
I don't stop. I just immediately, I'm dead sprinting over there.
He extends his arm, like kind of like the stop motion, holding his longsword in the other hand, and is continuing walking over, and you come within range of physical touch, just an idea, when he gets about 5 feet away from her. If you were to not stop moving, like if you were trying to tackle him, for instance, you could do that before he gets to her.
Tackle him? Wait, hold on. Let me bring.
If you want to, I'm just trying to get a vibe for what's going on. You guys are running over there. He's walking over towards her. Like if you were trying to stop him, I mean, unless you could put yourself in the way of him, or you could like try and hold him back or something like that. I don't know what you're gonna do, but he is very kind of, he's on a mission.
I don't know what Rylon's gonna do, but I'm just readying an action. If he starts to swing the sword, I'm gonna cast a spell. But
I mean, I'm going to just kind of like electric slide like between the body and him. So like just kind of like in like bat, like not like where my face is pointing towards him, where like my wings are shooting out and I'm sliding. So they're like essentially I'm making a wall between me and this woman.
So you slide in the way you're back facing him, your wings kind of out.
Yep.
Okay.
And immediately, no hesitation, the diamond is out. Unless this woman is like not dead, but
she's unconscious.
Okay, then I'm going to healing hands her.
What are you doing?
I'm ignoring him as the healing hands goes through.
The teal energy leaves your hand and sifts into her. Her arm is transformed back to like a human arm now that actually no. She's unconscious. Her full grotesque form.
She's ugly.
She's full out.
She I don't know if you guys are familiar with the art, so I'm gonna quick Gaiazo it. We, as our listeners know, we use Grimm Hollow's content for our campaign. We are huge fans of them. I personally have Kickstarter backed all of their things, and we are constantly talking about how amazing the transformations are. If you've never read the Grimm Hollow books by Ghostfire Gaming, or if you have never seen them, I cannot recommend them enough if you're into a dark fantasy sort of setting. The closest thing that I can relate it to, and I use this reference all the time, is Innistrad from Magic the Gathering. They do have a lot of similarities, in my opinion, and I cannot recommend it enough. Go check out their work. But let me just grab this image for you guys real fast.
Yo, this guy is really trying to press me, bro. Holy fuck.
In 2A.
2A.
She has sort of tendrils coming out from her back. Both of her arms are these like large lobster sort of claws. A couple tendrils coming out from her knees with like sort of spiky barbs, like one on each knee. And her skin is twisted and morphed into like kind of canine-like hind legs. She is just covered in barbs and tendrils and hardened sort of. The closest thing I can relate it to is like crab and lobster sort of texture skin, where it's just hard and bumpy. It's not the prettiest look, but as you heal her, you see her breathing become more regular. It was very shallow for a moment. It seems as if she possibly just lost control of herself. You'd be familiar with this, Eamon, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. I'm still sitting here, like, I've stopped now, like 15 feet away. I'm just sitting here prepared to cast a spell if need be.
And so she's still unconscious, but she's definitely stable. And she'll probably wake up, within the hour. But he's still there behind you over your back, in his plate, longsword drawn. What is the meaning of this?
And Rylon still has back turned towards the guy. He says, I thought you a fool, but no idiot. And he kind of clenches his fist, and he slowly starts to stand up. Solima grants us the ability of being a judge. And he slowly turns around and kind of stands up and starts floating a bit. But you are lacking the ability to even be within the jury.
Oh, man.
And his eyes are starting to glow with a super radiant yellow. almost turning a bit red, flickering with a bit of red, like almost like just anger. Like, and then he looks back at this man and he goes, "I ask you one last time to sheath your sword, or you will regret it."
He clenches his jaw, looking up to you, sword still in hand.
And now I am looking down at him because I am now.
Yeah. And wings kind of like out, not entirely sort of out, but like just kind of tucked against him. And I would like to know what Eamon and Ilfharyn are doing at this moment.
Eamon?
Fuck, my mic was muted. God, I keep doing that. 'Cause I don't want to like have passive noise going on. Yeah, so I'm standing right like 10 feet away. I have prepared to cast a spell in case he swung his sword. I don't even know if that came through, but I did do that. I do that. I prepare if he swings his sword at either him or the person on the ground, or tries to cast a spell. I have a spell ready. That's it.
Okay.
I'm staring daggers at this dude.
Ilfharyn is kind of just watching right now. I think he's pretty content to see Rylon handle this. It's kind of his domain, you know. But he does have his hand on the hilt of his rapier, just in case.
Okay, this is a tense moment. And in this moment, I would also like to say that Rylon, you start to experience something. There is you're wearing your plate armor, right?
Yep.
There is a sort of tightening around your bicep. It feels like a rope or a string or some sort of band has been suddenly fixed around your bicep, kind of like tightly, so it won't shift out of place. Is it your left bicep or your right bicep? You tell me.
Left.
Okay. And you can't see it, of course, but something has just materialized there, and your wings, as you're beating them, start to sort of split a little bit, as if turning into like it's like the transitioning period between having 2 wings and then having 4 wings, but they're not quite separated. It's like 1.5 wing. And are there any other sort of changes that you would like to claim happen to your appearance as you gain Seraph level 3?
Ooh. I would say that there is definitely my hair is starting to turn less black and more kind of like that kind of radiant, almost silvery white.
Mm-hmm.
And my wings begin to kind of turn from that like pale white to an almost like blinding radiant light, almost like, and they have like just like a never-ending aura of that teal energy that kind of surrounds my magic.
Got you. Okay. Then I think that as that image kind of comes into form, we're going to find out what happens with this interaction next time, because we are going to end the session here. Oh man,
you got me worked up now. I'm all heated up, bro. I'm ready to fight.
Yeah, this is sweet.
Yeah.
So that's where we're gonna end this session. We just want to take a moment to thank you guys for being here and listening. And once again, if you liked what you heard, if you've been listening to the podcast, or if this is your first episode, it would go a long way if you would give us any feedback, any review, any thumbs up, any subscribe, any follow on our Instagram, our Twitter, our YouTube. That is all the Split Party Podcast. And as always, the links to all of that are in the Linktree link in the description, as well as our Discord link. If you want to come hang out with us, ask us questions, kind of get a little bit of lore, see some more art of the characters, the encounters, and the NPCs, get a little bit more NPC background, then that is the place at our Discord. We welcome you always. Also, we would like to give a shout out to our Patreon supporters. Our Patreon supporters pay for our giveaways, our additional art, our animated art, our logos, our improved logos, everything that we kind of really need to expand our image and our brand. And we cannot thank them enough for their generous financial support. We'd like to thank our party fiends, Xeno and Stags, our party monsters, Happy Phoenix, Cypher, and Rookshaw, our party person, Hop, and our party lurkers, Valentine, Blundig, and Windowman. Thank you once again for that support, and we appreciate it tremendously. That being said, thank you for being here, and as always, never split the party. We'll catch you next time. See ya.
See ya.
Yeah.